1993. Throughout the night, you will get customers. You must figure out whether or not they are doppelgangers.
Okay.
To detect doppelgangers, use the computer. The database always shows...
It sounds like you're underwater, bro.
What do you mean?
You sound so quiet.
What do you mean?
Speak up, soldiers!
Question customers determine if they are doppelgangers. No, okay. Discuss with your friends and decide if you think the customer is a doppelganger. If you suspect the worst, locate the gun beneath the counter and shoot them.
That's crazy. Wow.
If you are notified that a doppelganger left the store, you'd better board up, lay traps, and hide.
Man, is that on purpose?
What? Is my mic that bad? Is my mic bad?
No, it's good. For me. I gotta lower some of the other ambient sounds.
Yeah, no, it sounds like there's like mad strong wind or something. Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's so aggressive. Like, are we in a storm?
The music and ambience being the same audio, like thing is crazy.
Wait, that's so much better. It was like super windy.
Yeah, it actually sounds like a sandstorm or something. It's a lot. Oh God, here we go, boys. Boys at midnight. Read instructions on the notice board.
Okay, that's better.
Where the hell?
Wait, Ben, do you have a purple shirt? Wait, what color shirt? What color shirt do I have?
You have a green shirt.
You got blue.
Do I have a?
Yeah, no, wait, green.
Wait, you got green.
Yeah, you're green,
Wait,
and you have red. Whiskey.
Banth has purple. Lopes has green for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm green.
Yeah, okay. Green. You look swagged out, and you got your like toes out and stuff.
Dude, where's the notice board?
Your feet? Are you wearing shoes? Your feet look like bacon strips.
Bro, I got moccasins on. I'm chilling.
They're like crazy looking.
I guess I could just pick up the flashlight.
Wait, no, us three actually working together would be crazy.
Use trash bags to dispose limbs in the storage room. Mop the blood. Restock the incomplete shelf with boxes.
What?
Wait, Dan, say that again.
Oh, it's on the notice board.
Oh. Use trash bags to throw out the limbs in a storage room.
Ew.
What the fuck? Why? Wait, why are they aware that we're doing fucked up shit?
Wait, look.
What kind of fucking gas station is it?
Come in here. Come here.
Or, okay.
I'm going in the vents, y'all. See ya.
What?
Oh, that's about it, actually. You just. Oh, ew, what the fuck? Dude,
what
the hell?
Bro, Joe, not go in the vent. Do not go in the vent. Do not go.
What's going on?
Well, why? Now I want to.
Bullshit in the vent, bro. There's someone.
Oh, damn, I kind of want.
Whiskey, what'd you do?
I'm stuck in a spider web.
Well,
wait, what is that? Is that poop?
Guys, I fucked up bigly.
Wait, is that shit?
Oh!
Oh my God, that's loud.
That was mad loud.
Anybody else put the ambience down and the sounds all the way up?
I have my ambience at 0.1%.
Okay. I'm fighting I'm literally gonna battle. It's crazy. Like whenever I play games, it's not just the enemies in the game. It's my ADHD that's already against me. Prerequisite. Use trash bags to dispose limbs in storage room. Okay.
Oh, I like the sounds. Wait, guys, the sounds were nice.
I'm disposing limbs. Wait, how many limbs can I put? Damn, bro, was hitting that shit right next to it. That's crazy. Okay, use trash bags. Okay. Okay. Beth, where do you throw the fucking trash out?
It's out here.
Oh, what? Dumps? Bro, it sounds like a fucking cat purring, but like on like a god level.
I'm back. I was going for a walk. You look mad suspicious. What is that thing?
It's a mop.
Yo.
you look gross.
Yo, Whiskey, have you been out here yet? Come here. Get
I ran
close
out
to
there.
this and tell me.
Oh,
it doesn't sound
blood.
Like, a cat on, like the craziest treble and bass purring.
Where?
Like, does that not sound like a cat?
It's like mad comfort.
Right? It's like a cat laying on your chest, like going to bed.
I can feel like the oxytocin in my brain.
What was that? I heard yelling.
Damn, bro, drop that oxytocin word. That's crazy.
Mad comforting.
Restock the incomplete shelf with boxes. Oh, Banthony's
Yo,
getting it done, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's getting it done, and like I'm just like walking around like a chud, not doing anything. I'm exploring.
What was in the vent?
Okay, trash on that. Dude, it was like actually like a poop monster, like some sort of like poop.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I was, bro, I was crouched for so long.
Yeah, you literally were popping that thing. It was really awesome, actually. Okay, restock the incomplete shelf with boxes. What, bitch, what box, though?
I restocked a lot already. Is there not any more boxes? Oh, there's right here.
Wait, I'm gonna decorate the store. Hold on.
Oh my god, what a fucking king.
Poop.
Oh, damn, bro's got... Oh, I saw that earlier, yeah. Bro, why do you look like a fucking 007 Nintendo 64 character?
Oh, shit.
Oh, you did it. Yo, Banth getting everything done for us is actually kind of crazy right now. Like, I respect it.
Now what do we do?
And
Oh.
now he's moonwalking. That's kind of fucking crazy. This is what
We
he
walked
looks like,
so
by
fast.
Wait, 'cause I have a really
Okay.
cool poster up
the way.
here.
What?
The thinking
Yo,
pose
this
is
is-
crazy.
Yo, honestly, real. What?
Sophia, welcome back, dude. What?
Yo, yo, what? Wait, can I try?
Yeah, go. Yeah, have a go.
Okay. Wait, it's not letting me. Hold on. Okay. How do I do this? Oh.
Need more signs. The computer's database always holds verified info. If you spot any inconsistencies,
I
or,
can't, there's a big arrow in the way. I can't see it.
yeah, I can't fucking see it.
If you
I
shoot
put
any
up my poster.
inconsistencies or blatant something, locate the gun under.
Or blatant lies, I
put up my
think.
poster. Do you want to announce
Let me
it
see.
to the world?
Let me see. It says, "Yo, big boobs. Just want to say thanks for your
Sacrifice.
back."
Listen in chat.
Sacrifice is actually so heat.
The sacrifice.
Big boobs. Just want to say thanks for your sacrifice 07s in the chat.
I love that you. That makes me so happy that you actually fuck with that. Thank you.
My favorite part
Like
is
my
when the text goes over the face.
Yeah, it's over his face. They didn't even try to shrink it. Yeah, man. Take it in.
You want to bathroom?
Oh, there's a
Wait,
bathroom?
it's Ban's turn. Ban, you gotta do a post. This is gonna be smoke. I can't wait. Oh,
Ow,
what?
so
Bro, like a
loud.
fucking tooth.
That was so
My teeth,
loud,
all
I'm
my
sorry.
teeth. Yeah, why was it so loud? Is my head made of like? Are you cleaning me? Thanks.
Yeah, I got you.
Bro, the pulsating is nuts on that. Like it's like a giant. It's like some sort of factory pulse. Do you see what I see or no?
I don't know. Maybe here, you try.
Okay. Okay. Yo, Ban's cooking right now. My bro's been looking at that wall for like 9 hours, like on some Blair Witch shit. All right, wait. How did you do that? Oh,
Mouse 1, I think. Oh, that looks like you're.
yeah, it looks nuts actually.
Where'd you
Wait.
get this template?
Yeah, why is it? Why is it you
Talking to grandma.
helping an old woman like at the store?
If you invest now, we can all make money on TS.
On this shit. Oh, I thought on this shit. Is that what that means?
TS whiskey Orlos.
This?
Orlos.
Oh.
It's like some sort of Gen Alpha slang. I don't know.
Wait, Banth, are you Gen Alf? Like actually?
Z.
No.
I haven't heard Banth talk for 20 minutes.
Oh my god, I forgot I'm on push to talk.
Yeah.
Also,
I've been talking.
Bro, you're also mad quiet. Is that just me?
Really?
No, I turned him up. No, I can hear him pretty good. I turned it up a little bit.
Can you turn up individual people?
No, I don't think so. But as soon as I did like voice stuff, it started working.
Oh, okay.
Today's revenue 310. Yo, we are not lucrative. Wait, how do I
Wait,
drop this? All right, we'll put this here for now.
Yeah, G.
Banth,
I
just
whoops,
yell for the rest of the night.
is it that quiet for me?
You're much quieter
it's
than Opes for me for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, someone in chat just said he mad quiet.
Damn,
Better?
not the mad. Yeah. I don't know why I said yeah. It's been the same for me the whole time. But good.
All right, what's our instructions? Today's revenue is $3. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, actually, we're killing it. If we just started, like, that's lemon stand money.
It says we haven't done the tutorial. Read the
Oh.
instructions.
Yeah, Lopes has to read it.
I'm coming in, or was that Ben's fat cheeks opening that up?
I think
it was the cheeks. I think
whoever
we
who
all
hasn't
have to
read
read
it.
this thing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
Who wants to read it?
Scan. Wait, customer interrogation, is that the one?
I think.
Oh, this is our database.
Customer interrogation protocol. Scan their ID to
Oh,
open the real
look.
person's profile on the computer. Question them about the details. The computer's database always holds verified info. Trust it. If you spot any inconsistencies or blatant lies, locate the gun under the counter and shoot them. Okay.
Guys,
oh my
guys,
God, who is this guy?
This
Clyde.
guy is Clyde Dawson.
Why are his teeth all messed up? Wait, Banth, I need info
Dude,
about
not the
him.
Clyde.
Scan his ID.
All
Clyde
right, how do I do that? Do
Dawson.
what does it say? Is that
This
Clyde
is a-
Ross?
He's alive. He's a sheriff, often in uniform, visible in ID photo. He wears glasses.
Okay, he's wearing
Bro-
glasses and he's saying, "Well, now you must be the new night clerk. Welcome to the graveyard shift, my friend." It's probably
Okay.
a little daunting, huh? No worries.
He's
Let
pretty-
me give you a rundown on how it's done. First, he's a tutorial guy. First, scan my ID card on the counter. Okay.
Wait, he's a tutorial boy?
Yeah. Wait, so can we all do this, or only one person can do it at once?
Check his.
Well, I'm sure there's gonna be more customers as it goes in.
Right.
Scan the ID card on the counter. Question his occupation. Oh, you just click the thing. Okay.
Oh.
Now check the computer.
Scan
It says he's
successfully. Yes.
alive. Okay.
Bro was born in
Question his
1939?
occupation.
How's he walking around? Oh, it's 93. I forgot. It's 93.
Wait, so I can ask him anything. I can verify his head, clothes, or limbs. I'm gonna verify his head.
I thought it was
My-
2026 in the game. I was like, how's he not dust?
Even
My
even
head,
then
I
he'd
haven't
be
lost it
like
again,
fuck
have
ass
I?
old.
Wait, how do I gotta question
100%.
his occupation or something? How do we question his occupation? Oh, you
I don't
click on
know.
the
Is he a
computer.
fucking deputy? Is he a deputy?
His teeth are upside down, bro. It's pissing me off. My occupation, sheriff on the best town in the west.
Wait, why does bro got Wreck-It Ralph arms?
You see?
Oh yeah. Oh, you click on the screen.
Kind of does. Yeah, you click on the screen to question his occupation.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
How do we scan his items? Bag his items?
Oh.
And then now
Wait
we...
a second.
Okay. Yeah. We all do this basically, and then, gotcha.
Wait, no shot, we all have to do it.
Yeah. It's just to make sure, sort of thing. I mean, I get it.
Oh, accept
by the way-
transaction.
By the way,
What's up?
like not to be lopes, but like the bell kind of looks crazy, right? Am I wrong?
Oh, it's giving tit.
I see a bell. You see something
giving-
different.
I see something diff.
No,
That's why-
it's giving tit for sure.
That's Dude, yeah, your pose on the counter is sick. Bro's kind of hitting that.
My question about his appearance? How do I?
Clyde looks impressed.
Oh, okay. After the computer questions, you could click on him and then ask him. Okay, different questions. Okay. Oops, I think your turn.
Oh, okay. Question his occupation. Okay. I'm gonna say blah blah blah. Ask me anything, my friend. What's up with your limbs? My limbs, 250 pounds of pure
Guys,
muscle.
when the game
you can
starts
see the text
going,
that's
I'm
kinda cool.
grabbing the gun immediately. It's not even close.
Question his occupation.
No one's getting through the
How do
store.
I
I
do
don't
that
even care
again?
if
Look at
they're
his,
normal.
You go on the computer and you click.
I'm running this shit.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
got it. My occupation, sheriff, the best in town in the West. Okay. Accept the transaction with the register. Okay. Straight up.
We made
All right, see
money.
you later, big brother. Oh, we have another one coming in.
Brant, Bant, don't do this. Don't do
Put Bant, put that down. Bant, don't do it. Bant, you don't got.
Just keep out. You guys run the register. Run the
Bro
register.
crouched.
Run the register.
He looks mad suspicious, bro.
Just run that register.
Bro thinks he's. Bro thinks
This
he's
isn't
being
you, man.
sneaky.
No,
This
run that
isn't
register. I got this.
Okay.
Bonnie,
Don't
hey
worry
there,
about it,
long
Biz.
night at the hospital. Just need to grab a few things and head home. Okay.
Okay.
We bag these for you, ma'am. Scan your ID.
She kind of sounds like Foxy Brown when she talks, the rapper.
It says occupation bald.
Wait, bro.
Oh my god!
Wait, Ben! Wait, was she actually bad? Also, why did she immediately turn into like ham hocks and stuff?
Bro, I said occupation bald and he let it fly, man. That was.
Bro
Oh
hits
my
the bald.
god.
Damn, bro hits the bald like that? Wait, oh, she looks way bigger dead, to be honest.
That's what
also.
I'm saying. Where is she keeping all this, man?
I don't know. Why she look like a Tyrannosaurus Rex? Delivery has a rock. Wait, Ben, you can't just keep clapping everybody. We gotta have a business here.
Sorry. Oh, look out. Oh shit. Oh, what the fuck? Oh shit. What the fuck? Hey, get back here. What the fuck? You just dump your
where'd
shit
you
off.
go?
Answer the phone. Whiskey, answer the phone. Someone answer the phone.
I got it.
Okay.
Hey man, I'm just down the road from your store. My car, Ben, that
Ben,
is
stop
so
clapping for no
loud.
reason.
Can you come
Also,
out
how many
and
bullets
help
do we
me? Go down the road and help him.
Who's him?
You want? Should we go together? Yeah. Who is
Yeah.
him?
This
Oh my
person
god,
needs help.
dude, the run is like.
Ah!
Oh! No! Oh, shit! Oh god, kill it! Banthony, why are you not shooting? You've been shooting
The
all
gun,
night.
the gun's jammed. Gun's
Why are
jammed.
you not shooting now?
Gun's jammed.
Bro
Oh my
shoots
God, oh
bald
my
people,
God.
but not monsters?
Holy shit.
The gun got jammed. Gun got jammed.
Oh, okay.
Dude, this-
Wait, who the fuck is that?
Wait, we have to clean up. This is not a good.
Yo, his teeth are crazy, and also he's approaching me hard. Okay.
we got to clean this up, man. Hold on.
I'll clean up. Someone take the gun.
All right, this should protect us.
Wait, but what if they
can't-
walk into it innocently?
You know, that's a good point. I can't check this person out because there's a big flash of Diana's.
Yeah.
Bonnie's
Let me.
body
Yeah, we gotta get rid of.
down,
Yeah,
bro.
we gotta get rid of like these butt cheeks. Hold on, I got this.
Yeah, I'll
scan
help.
this
I'll
guy
help.
out. This guy has a. This is a fake ID, bro.
Ben
Look at this
shoots the
ID.
bald lady, but doesn't kill the monster.
It was this jam. The gun was jammed.
All right, let me throw this out. As a bald guy, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm accepted.
Whiskey? What's the rundown on this guy?
He says just grabbing some stuff real quick, no big deal. His ID is fake though. I just got these clothes. Why? Tell me about your limbs. My limbs? Something wrong with my limbs? I mean, he looks legit, maybe.
Why is his ID weird? What's wrong with him?
His ID's like made out of paper. I can't scan it. I think I have to search his name. Hold on, I got this. He's dead.
Boys,
He's dead?
He's dead. It says cause of death mutilation. I'm gonna ask him about his cause of death.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, Lope, shoot him. Lope, shoot him. Lope, shoot him. Lope,
Okay.
shoot him.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on.
Okay.
Don't shoot me.
Okay. What's up with you, brother? Are you dead or not?
He said, okay, yeah, the ID's fake, but come on, man, I forgot it at home. Please let me through super quick, please.
I've heard it all before. Oh my.
Need a trash bag.
Bro, it was a fake ID. It wasn't even. We made a mess.
Bro,
man.
he was coming off as a real titty hater, honestly.
How do we quit? Oh, with this thing?
Okay.
Hey there, cutie.
Bro's Riz is unmatched.
Julietta Granger. Okay. She looks legit. She's alive.
Yeah, she does
she's
look-
a plumber.
she does-
Oh wait,
she does
hold
look
on. Her
legit.
job is weird. She's
reloading.
supposed to be a plumber, but she's dressed like a flight attendant. Something's not wrong.
Okay. Oh,
I'm gonna-
what?
Yeah, I've been a flight attendant for 3 years. It's a steady job, keeps me busy. Okay, so tell me about why you.
Who
don't
the
have
fuck
your
just
hair-
talks about being a flight attendant that casually? Like, you're in the air all day. Like, you're insane. Thank you,
That
man.
old photo, I've changed so much since then. I mean, that looks like her, right? I think she's chill.
What? Does
She
it
might be
say when it was
chill.
issued?
She might-
No, it doesn't.
She might be chill.
I don't know. Should we kill her because she's not a plumber?
Do not. We need
Wait,
money.
What happened with the last guy? Was the last
He
guy
did say, "Hey
bad?
there, cutie." The last guy, I hope was bad because you shot him, didn't you?
Yeah,
You got blood on your hands.
I do. Wait, do you want to try?
I'm gonna restock.
My airline likes us to look our best. Between us, I can't wait to get out of my work uniform.
Okay, I respect
Hey
it.
there,
She's
cutie.
wait, is she calling all of us cutie? We gotta kill her.
We need
I'm
money.
just feeling a little stiff. Been
Is there
standing too long, I guess. She said, "You
Okay.
like what you see? Careful, staring too long might make me blush." Guys, I'm not falling for this. I think she's okay though.
Is there a verification system? I wonder.
You're gonna do.
Oh!
What? What? What happened? Banthony! Who put that trap out there?
Dude, I put her through the most rigorous background check, and she.
Oh my god. Wait. Good evening. Just grabbing a few things before heading back on the road. Nah, bro, this guy's mouth is insane. If I'm not being a hater, like, you know.
I found money.
Let me,
This
give me your,
guy's 7'3".
okay, I scanned it.
Kevin Larson, insurance sales, often informal wear, tall. He looks legit.
He does look kind of legit.
Something's out there. Something's out there.
Often
Something's out
in
there.
formal wear. Wait, is this formal? It is kind of, right?
I think he's chill. Banth, you didn't put a trap outside, did you?
No.
Trap. There's one right here, though. Don't.
Who is this guy?
Praise the entity.
Dude, is this who's the guy who like ran through Russia after like exposing Facebook and all that stuff? And like
Snowden.
cameras? Is that Snowden?
Yeah,
Oh my
no.
god, it's Snowden. Okay, all right, I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater, but like his head is kind of crazy, so I don't know if that means anything. Okay, let me talk to him again. Hold on, all right, let me check his license. What the, is his name Bartholomew Keslaman? All right,
Sims ass name.
okay. Yeah.
I
Okay,
updated
his
the poster
occupation?
so it's more truthful.
Electronic store assistant, slight acne, forward head posture.
He does have slight acne.
Yeah, he
So
does
do
have
I.
slight acne. Like we can't get.
I'm gonna ask him about his head. There's nothing
Okay.
anomalous about my head, he says. Okay.
Oh.
Tell me about your limbs, bro.
Me too.
My
What was
physique
that?
falls within normal variance for my age.
Guys, there's a limb out there.
Bot.
He is kind of. He might be a Discord mod, honestly.
Dude, there's a limb out
Have
there.
restlessness. It's not suspicious. There's a limb out there because you put the flight attendant in a trap and she got blown to smithereens.
No, it says praise the entity.
There is nothing anomalous. What does anomalous mean? I might shoot you just for using that word. I'm gonna be honest.
Wait, does his job align up though?
I think it does.
I handle circuitry issues and software setup among other responsibilities. Okay.
Wait, why
Oh.
can't I ask?
If there's more questions,
March
tap on
12th,
him.
1974, 3:42 a.m. Precision matters. I think he's legit, bro.
All right, let him go. Let him go.
March 12th, yeah. I'm gonna bag his items and let him go. We need the money anyway. Have a good day, sir.
Where's he going?
Oh, what the fuck is this? Wait, are we in the upside fuck? What? You let one doppelganger complete. I mean, bro, for a first time, that's not bad.
What? What?
The entity
Oh,
has
I
been
got the
alerted.
gun.
It will
I got-
arrive in 60 seconds.
Bro,
this
I
is-
got the
this
gun.
is-
I'll
no,
protect.
no, no.
Lay traps.
I'll
Lay
protect my
traps.
boys. I'll protect my boys. Get lit. Wait, from what? Yo, emergency weapons
We
arsenal.
need traps. We need
Wait.
traps. We need traps. Where's the traps?
Oh shit. Wait.
How do I board the doors?
I don't know.
Board the
Oh,
doors.
Board it. Board it. Board it.
Okay. Okay. I'll do back. Oh my
Board the
god.
vents. Do we have to board the vents?
Oh, shit. Board up.
No, we don't. You got that one? I'm gonna get the side one.
I'm boarding it up.
She's here.
Wait, why does it sound like someone's cheeks are clapping, Loki?
Don't open the vent.
Wait,
no
guys,
guns.
there's weapons. Oh, wait, why are they not? Oh, because can we not afford it?
I have a gun. I have 2 guns. Who needs one?
Okay. Yeah, give them to whiskey.
I'm putting it.
Give them
I have a gun. I have a gun. I'm putting a trap in the
Oh
back.
my fucking god. Okay. Oh my god, I'm fucking.
Oh my
I'm
God.
So scared right now. Okay.
Where
Wait,
is
what
it?
about the vent, the poop monster? No! wait, do we live?
It hears your mic. It hears
Guys.
your mic. It hears your mic. It hears your mic.
Oh my god.
Can it really hear me? It's so loud.
Whiskey, right? You're camping. Whiskey, stop camping. Blood clot.
It's so
Oh my
loud.
god, I just unloaded on that business.
Oh! I saw Sammy playing this the other night. It was just like a peaceful grocery store sim. What the fuck is happening? Why did we get the fuck monster?
Is it dead? Is it dead? Oh, I just noticed the movement volume and all that stuff. Okay.
Oh.
Wait, Banth, what were you saying? What did Sammy say?
I watched her play this, and it was just a normal grocery store sim, and we got.
I know. I didn't know that either. Yeah, it's very loud.
Who do we think? I turned my sounds down to 0.2.
That was the loudest
Who do we think we
I've
let
ever
go?
heard. That was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, yeah,
It's
he's
so
grenade.
loud.
Wait, why are you just? Who's just popping
shoot
off?
again?
Who's desk popping?
Oh my god.
Is it? I think this sounds fine now. Oops, is this loud to you?
Dude, it was. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
bro,
because
I'm
it was in
not-
my face.
I'm not kidding. It was my entire OBS was peaking red. It was red across the board. It was, bro. I was dying laughing.
Oh yeah, wait. It says at the end of the day who the doppelganger was.
Oh,
It
who
the
was
flight
it?
attendant.
Oh.
Wait, no, I thought she died. Wait, I thought she.
Yeah, she died.
The gun is so loud, man.
Why is everyone... Wait, why are you on all fours like a dog, like trying to get the back shots right now?
Cause I'm dead, man.
No, wait, you're up now.
20 health.
Ooh, hey, doggy. Roll over.
Wait, you need a med kit.
Yeah, they're in here. In the, this thing. The first aid kit, yeah.
Whiskey, where are you?
Bro, just took all the Klonopins.
I'm right here. I need help.
Oh wait. Wait, Lopes.
I need help. Pop. What? What happened?
I
Wait,
think
what?
whiskey.
Wait, is he
I
fully
opened it.
tangled for
I went to give you the thing, but I think I just eat it when I take it. So.
Wait, what the? Oh, the medicine?
Yeah, I have 70 health. I'll be okay.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
so you're just like tripping balls right now? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Ow, bro.
sorry. How do
Dude,
you?
that was not me.
Okay. So
Okay.
what do we gotta go.
Yeah. Clean up any mess. Oh, head to the bus afterwards.
Everyone's just popping each other. Bro was
I'm
like,
super
yeah, you need.
fast.
Bro goes, you need help. Pow, 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 pow. Okay, wait. It was not the flight attendant because the flight attendant turned into fucking absolute baloney. So it must have been. Who did we let go? We let like one person.
Yeah,
go
where
and
does it
killed
say that?
somebody, I think.
Oh, once you get on the
I
bus,
don't
it
know.
says.
Oh, we have to get on. Okay, yeah.
Oh, Cole, you're true.
So do we just? Oh, okay, yeah. Let's clean up. God, we are all so ADHD.
Bro, I was worthless that first night. I was stun locked in the corner, just dying laughing.
Wait. What was the zombies map called? Terminus? Terminal?
Man, it's like the scene from The Dark Knight. No. I shoot the bus driver. What bus driver?
Very poor choice of words.
Bro, you're so mad quiet for me. I don't know why. Yeah, it is. Well, it was the flight attendant, I'm pretty sure. We fumbled.
Oh, okay. Oh, because she stepped outside. Period.
No, it's because her job was incorrect and I let her check out. So because I let her check out,
Okay.
so it's got to be what's it called?
Oh, the transaction. Right. Yeah, do I take these
Alright, so-
boards with me?
You
Let's
can
go build a
keep them in
ramp,
inventory.
guys. Riding on the bus with my boyfriends.
Night 1 of 13.
We made big money though. We only needed 30. Oh, we killed a human. Okay.
We have 12 more nights. We're fucked. Dude, we gotta go set up walls, set up traps.
Oh no!
Then, like, what happened?
Okay, so we can't
2
just
days
shoot
remain
people.
until Pizarro's medicine bill is.
Yeah, 2 days till Beaker
What?
Parker needs medicine bills.
Okay. Yeah, it says Affleck needs medicine as well. Okay.
Okay, so Bonnie.
Clyde Human.
Oh,
Bonnie
Ju-
Human. Oh,
Julietta
fuck.
was the
and
doppelganger.
Julietta were- Yeah,
Oh,
so you
wait.
and Nathan was the
you
doppelganger.
slimed Bonnie out for no reason.
Oh, wait, so I clapped the right guy then.
You clapped Nathan, right?
Yeah, I clapped
Yeah,
Nathan.
He was fraud. He was a fraud. Julietta was also a fraud, but that's on me. Bro, I folded because she said, "Hey, cutie," I think.
Yeah, honestly, that was really
Weakness.
aggressive. Like, no one does that right away. People do, but it's usually like an old, scary, like strange, like white male, you know?
Like Bartholomew.
Yeah, like Bartholomew. 100%.
Day 3 of
Oh my
Octane.
God,
And now that
dude. The
now that we
basic
know how to
troubles.
play, I think we'll go perfect right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna collect tokens around the map real quick.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. Or a sweet old lady. And she was neither of those. Wait, I just picked
Pay
up a token.
attention to the info you are given at the start of shift.
Hold on, I'm picking up this trap before we all step in it like fucking dorks. How do you drop stuff in this? Okay, got it.
Our library
I
is
think it's G.
closing.
Okay.
Oh, there's a Gamba board. Look,
Wait, where?
behind you.
Where? Oh, there is. Oh shit. What? What do you? Oh, you need the tokens for it. Oh, sick.
How much money do you guys have?
I have. Oh, is this, we have 22
Oh, it's shared
collectively.
revenue.
Oh,
Oh, we got a hat.
I got
Bro, got
sunglasses.
sunglasses? Oh, let me try. Everything's doing.
How do you use that?
Oh my god. What did I get?
Don't worry about it,
Oh,
bro.
I got a gas mask.
What?
My stank ass breath.
Don't worry about
How do I
it,
turn
bro.
Oh, go to
Should we
the.
be wasting our money?
Oh, it's in Hat's locker.
Yeah, we just
Or
got
it's
$2.
not.
Guys, I'm
got it.
dripped out now.
Give me something good.
Bro.
Give me something good.
Ear
I got-
egg.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
I need-
yeah.
I gotta join my boys. I can't be diff. All right, I'm with the boys.
Whatever,
Oh,
swag.
whiskey.
Oh.
What? Okay, I'm doing that.
Wait, we only have $5 left.
I'm doing the muffs. I want to be a muffs boy. Okay, yeah. We could
Alright,
chill
let's
the turkeys, I
stock
guess,
the
for now.
shelves.
Yeah, stock the
Everything's already
shelf.
full, I think.
It's a new night. Check the notice board. Okay, let me go check it. I'll check the notice board. The Midnight News. Midnight Town Library
Guys,
closed.
1 in
Thanks to
38
public
chance of
funding
landing on
being
an
directed to
on the
AT&T
X, and I land on it
services,
immediately.
or net. The beloved Midnight Town Library has permanently shut its doors as of last night. Okay. Wait, the quota is 35 bones.
Oh yeah,
That
wait,
doesn't
we,
time.
we just spent over.
Oh my god, this guy's drunk as shit, bro. And I think he's asking for weed?
Wait, didn't we need the money for our dying pet, and we just gambled it?
We did, and we just spent it on. We just spent it on earmuffs and sunglasses.
Oh fuck, we did, yeah.
Oh, tokens
Alright,
are
this guy looks
different.
fucking
Oh, what's wrong with
I
him?
can't tell if
What's
this
the
guy
plan
just kinda
emoji?
like- I think he just wants weed or something.
Why is
Roger says,
saying "fuck you want."
"Yeah, fuck you want." Okay, he's too hammered, I think, to be a dop. But let's see.
He's got that thing from The Sims on his head.
He has a mustache, generally dirty attire, and he's
Okay.
retired. So bro's tired and retired.
He's pretty. Yeah, he's covered in mud.
That's a good movie.
4.1 review. I never seen
He's
it.
hostile.
Close. Plaid's classic. Wore it yesterday to and the day before. So he's a dirty fuck. That's cool.
What's his job? Oh, he doesn't have a job.
So
Oh, does
why
he have a
why is he
mustache?
sad with the plant?
Yeah, he has a mustache.
He
Limbs.
said, "Shut up and ring me up already." You know what? I think he's legit.
I think he's legit too. He's too rude to like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think let him go.
I hope.
If he can,
if he's
if
a
he can make it
man,
out
we're in
there.
trouble. Oh my god.
God man.
What is
What
this?
the fuck?
What is this?
Some nonsense.
What-
Why do they have a
what?
sad-
What the
why do they have a sad
hell?
emoji on their
Wait,
head?
why is her brain on her face? No
Or
offense.
she looks like Chef Boyardee.
She literally looks like.
I'll ring her up. I'll ring her up. Beth
Bro, is that Darth
Callahan.
Maul?
Scar on
Beth
her
Callahan.
left cheek.
Scar. I'm gonna
Dude.
inspect that. Scar on left cheek.
Okay, on the left cheek
thing
or
is
whole
scar.
face?
The whole thing is
No
scar. Bro.
offense.
Scar on the left cheek.
Yeah, low key, she looks like ground beef, bro. I'm trying to be mean.
It's not just yeah. She has multiple. I mean, her whole face is fucked. Which you might
It's
want
not
to get
just
back
the
for this.
left. It's the right. It's the.
Wait. She might be
Is he
legit.
here?
Hold on. I'm gonna ask her about her
But
head.
Okay.
Lopes, I need you to
Yes,
voice
it's
act
a-
this line.
Okay, I got you. Go ahead, do it again.
Oh, I'm asking you. You play Beth. Go. What's wrong with your
Okay,
head, ma'am?
Okay, go ahead.
No, you do it.
it's a little scarred.
She was legit, bro. She was.
No, she wasn't.
Dude,
Who is this?
you can't just use bullets and be a bully like in high school. Like,
I'll take care of this. Where's the mom?
wait, but was she a dop?
She was definitely
Okay,
a
My
dog.
idiot boyfriend left me at the club, and now I'm pissed
Oh.
off and drunk. Hold on.
Wait, is this Margot
Diane
Robb?
Hayes.
Loki? Are you Margot
Occupation,
Robb?
Sales assistant. Yeah, who cares? 3rd of
Yeah,
July,
honestly-
write it down, celebrate it.
Guys, that was an op.
Dude, if she's a dop, don't worry, I got this. Honestly,
Oh!
respectfully. Wait, sales assistant, and then that's it?
I need a gun. I need a gun.
Wait, why? What happened?
You don't need
Get a gun.
She's legit, I think.
No, she's legit. Wait,
Look at
why
this.
is Beth on
Tab
coke,
on the
cocaine?
computer.
Look at this.
Why is Beth on coke?
I think oh wait, we have 3 stars. Isn't that good?
Hello, miss. How are you? How you doing?
Lopes,
Welcome
Lopes,
to,
Lopes.
Boys at Midnight store? What? Wait, where
Come
are you?
outside.
Okay. I'm coming. I'm almost there.
He's getting closer, I feel like.
What the hell is that?
Hey, long day, been at the town library.
Shoot it?
Somebody get going.
100%.
Oh!
What? Whoa! Go inside.
What do you guys
Oh my
shooting at? I'm
God.
bringing up customers. What
There
happened?
was like a,
Brother,
weird.
like some shape-shifting thing.
This person looks like a baby. Look at this thing.
Look at this thing.
What is this thing?
This
Are you
thing.
Swedish? Hello?
Oh, she has very short
Amelia.
hair. Okay.
Okay. Very short hair.
That's why I
Let me
was
ask
at the
about
library stuck. Oh, she's in law school.
I'm just
Oof.
tired.
Shoot her?
1474. I think
What?
she's. I think she's legit. She's in law school.
Did you pass the? Are you? Oh no, you're getting ready to take the bar. That's cool. I want to be honest.
I think she's real.
Oh,
The library's closed. No,
Oh,
the
God.
library's closed.
Okay.
The library's closed. The library's closed because
store
no,
generator.
No,
Oh shit.
no,
Timberlake, go outside,
No,
back
no,
to
no,
reset
no,
it.
no.
Okay. Wait.
The midnight
I'm going
library
outside.
is closed. I fumbled.
I'm doing the
guys.
generator.
fumbled.
I might die. All hands are needed, guys. I need all of you here for the generator.
The garage.
Whiskey, come out back. Whiskey, come out back.
Yeah,
Band, where are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up?
We need
All
bands,
hands are
I think.
needed.
Yeah. We need all these hands on
This
this.
was a doppelganger, bro. I messed up.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, because the library's closed. Remember the newspaper you read in the
What's going on?
beginning? It says the library's closed. She said
Oh,
she's in the
yeah.
library.
We need to. Okay. Shit. Wait. So.
Oh,
what
you
happens
true
when we
Jack.
fuck up like that?
It's gonna
Do we
come.
miss out on money?
Oh,
No, we. What?
guy outside.
What?
Guy in the register.
What?
Guy in the register. Guy in the register. Guy in the
What
register.
The fuck is? Dude, is that Banthony? Like in real
Yes.
life? Are you Banthony?
Well, you take this one. I'm on break, bro. I'm on my 15. I'm not.
Wait, Ben, where's the gun? Ben, why are you never shooting actual monsters? Like,
I don't know where the gun is. The
Where's the
gun's
gun
the
at?
gun's at the register.
oh, fuck, it is? Okay. Hey, man, we don't need any more help. We're good. We have like there's 3 dudes working this. We don't really need any help, to be honest. We got enough employees here. So, I'm gonna need you to take your fucking Fantastic Four ass out of here. Leave. Okay?
Banner, you want a piece of this?
I can't. He looks like docile, but like also not. You know what I mean? All right, just
There's no way you're making art right now.
bro, what is happening?
I'm not making. We have to decorate. It's for the good reviews.
Wait, but who is this guy?
We need a
Low-key, We
gun.
should just be mad that there's another guy trying to take our hours right now, more than anything. Hey, brother, I worked really hard on my
Does
rest.
he talk? Does he talk to us? Wait, he kind of looks like.
No, he kind of just chills.
I just gotta.
Up there.
Oh!
Oh! Oh! Oh! He's hurting me! It's because of the ass comment?
Slime him. Where'd he go?
Whoa, why is he going for me?
He's in the bathroom. He's in the bathroom.
No, he's fucking me up. You know, he's fucking me up. He's hurting me. I'm almost dead. I'm down.
Bring him this.
Whiskey,
I'm on all
shoot
fours.
him!
I'm on all fours. Oh,
I got him. I got you. Wait, why are you doing? Why are
Yeah,
you
you
in
like
back
that?
shots position, bro? Wait, guys, someone coming. Hey, ma'am. Welcome.
Oh,
It's
wait.
not what it
Hey,
looks
it's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. We're friends. We've been friends for a really long time. She's walking all over me. Just like everyone in my life.
Oh, so we get plus decorations points. What are you guys doing, man?
Pick me up.
All right.
Bro, why was fucking Slender Joe being so lame like that? Like, that was crazy.
Darla
man.
says good evening.
Good evening,
I'm
Darla.
gonna Darla Groves. I'm gonna check her. She's a swimmer. Been swimming for as long as I can remember. Okay. She has vitiligo. Yeah, she does. Okay. When's your birthday?
Oh!
May 26, 1969. She's legit. I think she's legit, right?
Bro, why is this fucking Walker, what is that? Like, shape guy?
What is this? Guys, what is this? Guys, please come to the front. What the hell just walked in the store? Look at this.
What? Oh, what the?
Oh, hey, get it. Hey, get it. Hey, hit it. Hey, slap that. Hey, get that
I
thing.
cannot wait to see his ID, bro. Hold on.
Me too. Hey,
Oh, he's not buying anything.
dude, he's about
What's
to
wrong with
pop out
him?
Show fellas right now. I don't know, but he's hitting it.
Oh, we gotta restock. Hold on.
Hey, what the hit that?
I'm gonna restock real quick.
Damn, bro, kind of looks like Chris Mel at like 80, like the head part.
Yowie.
Dude, bro's hitting that shit. Wait, where are you going?
Where is he
sir.
going?
Excuse me, sir. I'm
where's he-
Norbert. Is that all for today? Yeah, just these items, please. Of course I will scan these items right away for you, my friend. Why, thank you. Bro, he's got me under some sort of manipulation, like
Wait, why is he behind the
gaslighting
counter?
technique.
Wait, why is he behind the counter?
Yeah, I don't like his
You
vibe.
talk to him, he forces. He's like forcing everything to happen.
It says he has a fake ID if you try to scan it. I'm gonna
Oh.
search his name in the database. Hold on.
Norbert.
Dude, Norb was mad aggressive. His
He
tone is
doesn't exist.
insane.
He doesn't exist. He's not a real person. He doesn't exist.
I don't have a
Wait, so
gun.
do you think?
I'm gonna ask him
hold on.
about his head. He's just
Do we
laughing
think
at
that-
me, bro?
Do we think he's bad, or do we think he's like some sort of weird magical ent that just like exists?
Bro, anytime I try to ask him anything, he just laughs like a.
Heating up,
Freak.
sorry.
Wait, can we all shoot him at the same time, just in case?
I don't have a gun.
Yeah, I don't have a gun.
There's only one gun.
Someone in the
No.
someone has it.
I
Using
have
the
it. I just
weapon
thought.
of cleansiness.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot him, but if he gets aggressive, we need to slime him.
Wait, before you shoot him,
All
look
right.
at my head.
Yes. What? No shot. That's what you spent our money on, bro. My cat is dying, and you've got a little man.
No, I did 4 spins when you guys weren't looking, and I got us $20 and a hat. No!
Wait. Wait, what is this? A burger?
Guys, I'm gonna shoot. I gotta shoot him.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
getting out.
No!
Oh, no!
No!
Norbert! No! Wait, where is he? Wait, he's gone.
Police are here. Hold on.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Wait, wasn't
All right.
net part of something on the newspaper?
This guy's a fucking tight ass if I've ever seen one. Fucking Mr. SWAT over here.
Thanks to public funding being redirected to net services. the
Bro
public
couldn't
net
take the helmet off to go
collaboration.
to go for a stationary visit. Like, what the fuck?
Make
Make it
bud,
quick, bud. I've got
business.
NET
Make it
business to deal
quick.
with. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. You think I run on your dime, bitch? Think I give a fuck about you or NET?
Occupation Non-Human Eradication Task Force. We're the reason you doppelgangers haven't been ripped apart yet. You should be grateful. I think this guy's legit. He has nothing to say about his birthday. I'm gonna ask him about his limbs.
Yeah.
All in place. Standard issue. You don't need to know more than that.
What? This guy's a douchebag, though. I don't want to shoot him just for being a loser.
I think he's legit. Should we shoot him anyway?
I think he's legit.
All right, let him
I
go.
think he's legit too, because he's kind of a douche.
Yeah.
Fuck
Wow,
you
we're
and fuck the
we're
NET,
rich.
dude. What does NET stand for, even? Not even? Oh
It's
shit!
over.
Oh god. Okay, board up.
What?
Oh, we let one go. It was
It
probably
was the,
was it the
it was the
gnome?
library one. It was the library one.
All right, board up, and then we gotta get gun.
Oh, my magic's hell yeah.
grenades.
I'm boarding up the back.
Okay, where do we get the fucking boards at?
They're just scattered across the map. I'm gonna board the bathroom.
Okay.
It's already
Whiskey,
boarded.
you do all the heavy lifting.
I did board that already. Okay, wait. Okay. Where do they come in from?
No!
Shit! I'm at 40 already. Hold on, I'm putting this in the
There's a
bathroom.
gun here if you guys need it. Grab a gun.
I got it.
Door. I
I'm
got
putting a
gun too.
cheeseburger out on the ground.
All right. Wait, how do I? What is health? Oh, yeah, first aid. I need that. Like,
Wait.
We have boards. We have any more boards? 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Do we spin?
Fuck, I just
Spin the
did
wheel.
this.
There's a trap in aisle 2. There's a trap in aisle 2. Careful.
Spin the wheel.
Yeah, hey, quick dopamine hit. Quick.
I took
Do it.
We don't have enough
I'm
money.
tripping, I'm,
Okay.
tripping,
Oh.
I'm tripping sack right now. I'm tripping absolute sack. Okay.
Wait. Shh.
Oh yeah. Don't talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let it fly. Hide him down aisle 2.
Why is he going for me? Fucking racist. What the fuck is
It's so loud.
One more clip. We got it. I think we're good.
Is that it? Oh
Uh-huh.
my
Yeah,
god.
we got
Dude,
it,
that
good
was
job.
way better than last time. Holy crap.
What? Way better.
Huge.
There was little dogs on the ground.
There was
No,
like a
no,
little
no. I mean,
there was a
like we
baby.
survived better. Like we did a lot better that time.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I saw I saw the dogs go for a banth. It was like fucking Stranger Things when Bob dies.
spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, where's the mop? There's guts everywhere.
There
No,
is.
we-
Yo,
the trash
Ron,
bags
was
for
your
the-
flashlight on?
The limbs.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
flashlight.
yeah,
How do you
yeah,
pick-
yeah,
How do you
true.
pick up the chunks? What do you do?
The
Trash
trash
bag.
bag.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some poop over here if you want to get it. Whiskey, some juice on the ground, some blood juice.
Poop.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
I think I
What
got.
if we could just hide in the vents and then not have to fight them?
There's
Oh,
de-
yeah, I
there's
wonder what
definitely
the
something
vents
in the
are
vents
actually.
though.
What?
Or they just can't stay there for super
Whiskey.
long.
Whiskey, come out here. This is what me and Ban saw earlier. Like, what is?
Oh, is
this?
it out there?
Ban, come here. Yeah, he's back. The fucking flesh guy.
Shoot him.
Look at this shit. Like, what's up with this creep, dude? Watch what happens when you shoot him, though.
Wait,
Bro's
ran
an
away?
Olympian.
Wait, it's kind of freaking me out. I mean, we made 130 bucks. I think we're chilling.
Yeah, is that enough to pay for all of our medical bills?
Maybe one of ours.
I mean,
Oh, it says head to the bus. Okay, let's go.
All right. Wait, can I go on there with my gun?
Yeah, I got the strap on me. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, but it was a long night. The boys had the straps on them. Wait, oh, our sick pets. Oh, wait.
yeah. How
What,
much?
No humans killed, surpassed quota?
Wow.
Wow, wait, we did it okay, but we let one dop do his thing.
I wonder how much
Yeah,
like
that's my bad.
the medical bill is.
Oh, the medical bill. Okay, I'm at 43. Fuck, boys.
Yeah, I think it's shared. It says, so this is our last day.
So we got
We'll
like
ball out tonight, I think.
it's 5,000. We have $43.
Official warning
Oh,
from
what-
NET.
45 years
The
ago.
infamous serial killer known as the Dentist roamed Midnight Town, killing victims by ripping their jaws off.
Sick.
Ew.
Wow.
Government authorities confirmed new reports of a tall, emaciated figure matching the description of the same killer that died 40 years ago.
Me.
What? Does that have anything to do with the tall bastard that was stalking her?
Witnesses describe a slack, broken jaw, white, bloody, bandaged hands, and cracking skin.
What? Look-y me.
It follows the same method of killing as the original dentist, removing the victim's jaw from their skull.
That's not nice.
If you see it, do not hide, do not speak, and do not look back. Run until your legs no longer obey you.
Obey.
Obey.
I think we're cooked.
Obey.
Should you successfully flee, contact your loved ones while you still can.
What?
Bro, they're making me feel
I
like we
have
don't stand
loved
a
one?
chance here.
I think my boys are my loved ones.
Night 3 of 13, by the way.
Witnesses who managed to escape are all found dead no more than a week later.
Oh, is there a pet? Okay, let's see.
Beth was a doppelganger. Good poll.
Amelia. Oh yeah, we knew that.
Yeah,
We knew
Amelia,
that.
yeah.
He provided a fake ID. Oh, okay, yeah, we knew. Norbert was so fucking weird. There was no choice but to just light him up. Like he was so.
We might ask him a question. He would just like laugh. He'd go,
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
I think it was- yeah,
bro
Norbert was free.
walking around. Yeah, big free. Like he was so fucking strange. But I thought maybe the game was throwing us like a curveball and being like, he's so fucking strange, but not. But he totally was. Yeah, shout out to Darla.
shut up, Diane.
Diane. All right, boys.
It's
Is
a
this
new
night
check-in
3?
on Discord.
Yeah, do we have loved ones?
Token. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think you guys are my loved ones. I don't think I have family in this game.
So we're just gonna talk to each other.
Yeah, there's
So maybe-
tokens
I'm your
fucking
loved one.
everywhere, bro.
So maybe we just spin the wheel.
brother, what do the hamburgers do?
I got us $10.
Decorations, so we get
Oh,
good reviews, I
oh.
think.
Sick. All right. Bro, when do we start getting those other? Those other guns are crazy.
Oh,
This band's just
shit.
standing all there. Oh, bro, fucking just caked. Oh, we only have 13 tokens left though. Bro, what the hell?
Again.
Damn, bro.
This is our last spin, bro.
Bro, this isn't kick. Sorry.
We have more.
Wait, we have enough for one more spin.
Here we go.
That's huge. That's huge.
Oh! Let's go, my boy Banks. What do we have? We have 10. One more.
Oh!
Yeah! What? You gotta stop.
Free
We gotta
money.
stop.
It's infinite money
again?
glitch.
Wait,
yeah,
there's
keep
more
going.
tokens.
No,
No.
we shouldn't do it.
Bro, with the stern. No. All right.
How do we start the day?
God. I'm never going anywhere.
Oh.
Oh! I'm going everywhere with Banthony. Wait, 13? Didn't we just win? Oh.
Oh, what the?
Spider-Man? Is that Spider-Man but French? Oh, no, it's not Spider-Man.
Wait, how do I look?
Bro, you look nuts. I thought it was French Spider-Man. I don't know. I didn't know what it was.
we look like Pikmin. We look like the red Pikmin.
We do. We do look like Pikmin.
All right, read the notice board. I think we can get started.
Okay. 40 years ago, infamous kill. Okay, yeah, we read that. And then just the quota. Did I do it? I did do it.
Yeah.
Shwing. Oh. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, we got to restock. Bro, why is this guy charging? Also, is this guy fucking...
Wait, who is this? Oh, he's.
He's like running. Are you in a gang?
Hey there, boss. Hope your night's going smoothly.
Hey, man, why do you got Coke on your top lip?
His name's Derek Vaughn, and he's a postal worker apparently. And
He
it
was
says
running kind
jogs
of like one.
everywhere.
He was
It says
running
jogs
really
everywhere,
weird.
which is good.
He was,
Oh, okay.
he was jogging everywhere. He was very aggressive.
We have an email from the manager. It says, bad news. Rats have started running rampant around the store. They affect the store's rating. Catch them and throw them in the dumpster.
Okay, all right. I'm down. What the hell's bleeping like that? Oh,
We
is
have
it
good reviews.
Oh, I see it.
It was the message from the manager.
Oh,
Did you just kill a rat? Hold on, I'm gonna stock the shells, boys.
I smushed it.
Restocking?
Oh, that's on me. Sorry, I saw Kayla come in the chat and I killed the rat. Oh,
Boys,
Kayla,
I'm just
hello.
restocking.
Yeah, do your thing. I'm gonna
Guys,
check
this
stats.
kind of makes me want to work in retail.
Let me know if it's hot.
What happened?
What happened?
Why do we have
Was it worth
negative?
the clap?
We have negative
We have
$3.
revenue set. I
Wait,
haven't
is it
checked him
because
out
of
yet.
me?
No, he's legit. Watch. See, now we're balling.
No, what's
Oh, we are. Oh shit, 1770. Hold on, I'm gonna wait. Who the fuck went into the trap?
Wait, what?
Wait, did we just kill another guy? Is this a fucking mine? What is that? Wait, who went into the trap? We just
We
killed a
have
guy for no
landmine.
reason.
We have a landmine in case. It was.
I don't think we're supposed to. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if we're supposed to put traps down until a certain time.
You again. Look, something happened last night. It was the dentist thing.
I just
It
went
was
right
fast,
past.
strong. Wiped out my whole squad in seconds, but it left me alive.
Yo, Ben!
What?
Someone get a gun, bro. He's over the fence now.
He's over the fence.
Wait, hold on. What's going?
We need a gun. He's
Is
over
it
the
the
fence.
guy in the back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
get him. He's in
wearing
our.
fucking antlers now, like an A24 movie character or something.
Oh, he's giving us money though. Look.
Oh wait, he did. It's Hart. Oh,
What?
is he a
think
good
he's chill.
person or a good?
Is he a good guy?
I think he's a good.
Wait, are you chill then?
Yeah, I think he's chill. Yeah.
Someone just used the bathroom and then left.
Oh, he's chill. Hey, thanks, man. I'm sorry for shooting at
There might be
you.
something devious in the bathroom.
Are you wearing
I think
clothes?
I think he's chill.
Ryan Holt.
Hey, have a good one.
Ryan Holt's the same cop from yesterday.
Yeah, he's a chill guy. He's just sweet.
He might
Be
be a
careful.
dop. Check his ID.
Can I talk to him? Oh no, I can't talk to this guy. Yeah, I took the helmet off. I don't ever want to put that shit on again.
He says I need to quit this job.
Wait, what job? Oh, his
Is he
job?
is he legit? Is he legit though? His mustache is white.
It might be a doppelganger. It's still me.
people
I'm
saying
still good.
Ski
Don't
Boy
start
might
questioning
also not be
everything.
good.
No, he looks. I think he's legit.
Oh,
think
not one of
he's
these
legit.
net losers again. Jesus Christ.
His personality's kind of different.
Wait, what's this like heliopad?
He's like nervous. He's talking nervous.
Hey, what does NET stand for? Never ending tool?
Nice.
Loser. Got
No,
him.
he's alive. He's alive.
Wait, who's this guy that just left, bro? Dude, bro didn't even. Did he just? Wait, can they steal? What the hell's Yowie mean? Is that Yowie?
I can't tell if this guy's
Any
legit,
mess?
bro. What do you guys think?
Let me see. Hold on.
He is legit, but he's giving weird vibes.
But
All right, let me see. Ryan Holt, occupation non-human eradication task force. Wait, we're getting messages.
I'm a bit jittery, he says.
Yeah, because his whole team got slimed out yesterday because of the dentist.
I think I
Oh,
feel
we
like,
can buy more shit.
I think we have to shoot him.
Why is there a landmine
I mean,
over here?
why can't? Are those his teeth or is he foaming out of the mouth?
I think we shoot him.
I don't know what to say about that. Oh, because I asked him if he's alive. I mean, hold on. We did this already. Right, scan successfully. Operation non-human. I don't know
A little bit
what
of
to
this,
say
a little
about
bit of that.
Maybe he is a human. Because like we're not getting much options here. Ryan Holt.
I think he's legit.
All right, send him on his way. Send him on his way.
Bro, there's Dookie over here.
Beaker Parker's
Ryan Holt
fucked.
alive. Ryan deceit. Ray Hamlet. Oh, it says he's alive. Yeah, I think he's.
Guys,
I
you're
think
not
he's
gonna
chill.
believe this. Tyra Banks just did diarrhea in stall number 3.
What?
I'm not even kidding. Tyra Banks just did diarrhea in stall number 3.
How do I
What
give
do
this
you-
guy his shit after
How do you
back
know?
Oh. Later, brother. Yeah, I think he's legit. Wait, Tyra Banks took a shit?
Oh, what the
fuck is
fuck?
that?
What the
hell is
fuck?
that guy doing? Yo,
Hey,
me and
no,
gym
no,
class
no,
in
no,
fifth
no.
grade? Me and gym class,
Wait.
5th grade?
No, he's legit.
Oh my
I think.
god. Wait,
I
is
got
he?
this.
Check.
Wait, bro's
Call me, he
fucking
says.
out there. Bro looks like his name is Sven. Wait, hold on.
His name is Rudanik.
It just says call me. He just has a phone number.
Wait, what? Call me 555. Yo, should I call the number on my phone real quick and see?
Bro, he said I'm not listening to a thing you're saying, just admiring the way your tender lips move.
I'm shooting him.
Do not shoot him.
Wait, not yet. Hold on. Because he might. Wait, why did bro
Wait, look,
just
look,
come
look
in
at
like
this-
a
I'm gonna look
fucking
at this name.
tire? Like cosplaying as a tire. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. It says his name is Rudanik West. And he's
So aura. Swaggy was
Pump in
6
the
years.
Wait, hold on.
Holy
listen to
shit.
it.
Which mod? Little
Just
swaggy.
remind me.
Back
Okay,
up like 2
okay.
No more.
Okay. Okay. Wait, watch out for the other customer.
Yeah, I got
Okay. Wait, what just happened? Did you just kill another
it.
guy?
The
Oh, take the trap off.
Why is the
It's-
trap armed, man?
It's not the. I'm moving this. Man keeps putting it down.
Whiskey! What was that? Whiskey, what was that? Whiskey! Whiskey, what was that? Oh, the
Wait,
cops
are the
are
cops
here!
coming to fuck us? Wait,
Okay, we gotta clean up. This is a mess, bro.
we gotta clean up. This guy
Man,
looks
man,
like a
check-
fucking
check-
Ryan if I've ever
Check
seen
this
one.
guy out. I'm gonna get innocent customers' flesh out of.
Man, what was that, a rat?
Yeah, shot it.
Him, bro.
Wait, yo.
He said just
Shit
picking
all
stuff
over
up
the
for his
fucking
sister.
video.
His name's Tommy Delgado.
Dude, someone took a fat shit in the fucking stall. I gotta clean that. There's blood everywhere. There's fucking diarrhea. Like, it's mad yellowy. Oh, did you clean up the body already? Okay, sick.
Oh, he's back.
Wait, his twin is in. No, it's his twin. They both have great tits and nice hair.
I'm cleaning. The
Wait, that means
battery,
what-
Bro, one second.
It means one of them's a doppelganger. That's a Banthony!
What? What the hell is that screaming?
What'd you do?
It was a doppelganger of me.
Wait, really?
It could have just been someone that looks like you.
Hold on, I'm cleaning up the shit. Yeah, but that's bad, not good. No. I think if it's too much like them, it's no good. Yo, the nights are getting ridiculous. We're on crack mode right now. Why is Deer Man still outside? I'm terrified.
They keep shitting in the toilet without permission. There's mad dude in the stall, man. I'm telling you.
Why are we popping everybody?
No, he was.
Watch Banth pop like 3 people. Was he bad?
He was a doppel.
Oh, he was?
How do you know?
Because
this guy's double. This guy's double. All the other cops are dead.
Wait,
This
say
guy
the
was
last part of that word.
Bro, at least let me verify.
you said he was a
There's
doppel.
no way. Wait, but
Oh
we're so
my.
fucked. All right, board it up. Just board everything up. I'm boarding.
2.
You let 2 double?
was-
Oh,
oh
we're
my
so
God.
fucked.
Oh, we were
so
cooked
fucked.
either way. Okay, hold on.
so
I'm gonna
fucked.
arm them.
Guys, let it rip.
I'm putting a landmine in the back room to avoid it.
I need a gun. Holy fuck, I need a gun. We need to clean this place up after we do all this. Wait, why are we not getting other weapons? More weapons can be purchased in the shop. Oh, God, we have to buy them.
Yeah, we need to buy weapons.
Fuck. Well, okay, yeah, jump up.
Oh, fuck me.
There is no way. There is no way he just triggered the landmine, bro. There's no way.
He did.
Bro, that was
Dude.
that was $1,400.
Late trap. Oh, we're so fucked. Wait, he's gambling. Wait, hold on.
Bro, I said I'm putting a landmine in the back. Watch out.
I tried jumping over
I'm
it.
boarding this up.
I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun.
There's a gun on the back wall. Gun on the back wall. Whiskey right here on the back wall.
Yeah.
I got one. I'm trying to see if there's
Okay.
back is boarded.
All right, here we go.
Alright,
We might be
bathroom, I
fucked.
think bathrooms of a jet.
All right, so don't talk and just crouch, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Fuck.
He's in the front door.
Fuck! What the fuck?
Guys, slime it, please. Guys, unload, please unload.
I'm unloading. Bro, is that Adrian Poe? Oh my god, I'm almost fucked. I'm actually almost fucked. I'm actually. I'm going in the chat. I'm gonna die.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, we got it. I almost got Lopes in the bathroom. Oh, then that was close.
Bro, the patience of the entity was almost up.
Yeah, I don't know what the patient's.
I think it spawns a bigger guy after that.
That's not good.
All right, we just have to clean up. We made
I'm putting the
$71.
boards-
I don't know if that's good or
I'm
not.
putting the boards in the back.
That should be enough to get
There's more.
our pet like
There's more
secured in
body
some
parts
way.
over here.
Oh, he's back.
There's body
He's
parts
back.
in the
He's
aisle.
back.
Wait, who? Dear boy?
What do I do with him? Do I shoot him?
No, he's giving us money. He's a good guy. Made us $10. You're welcome.
How do I get past him?
You can't. He just chills there until tomorrow.
Guys, if it makes you feel better, apparently Julia and Julian let a night go by where 5 doppelgangers got loose.
I think I gotta pop him.
Maybe they were all
If that
dogs.
helps. Wait, low key we crushed, I think. I can't tell. I'm like still learning. Wait.
We gotta put
I'm gonna buy more weapons for the next one. Like we need better weapons now.
All in favor, kill?
By the way, what are those little babies? And why do they have heads like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff?
Where you went right past him. Aura. He's looking right at
He's a
me.
good guy. He's nice. He's literally
Wait.
our guy. He's friendly.
Wait, are we legit on the same night? Oh no, the bus. Okay, I just saw that. I'm cleaning up, dude. There's literally like DNA everywhere. Sorry, that sounded crazy.
Yeah, I forgot we're running a store here. I'm restocking.
Okay. Oh yeah, can we restock the night before? Yo, should I order guns for tomorrow?
Yeah, give me a bazooka.
Wait, what is this tar everywhere?
No.
Man, can you stop? Gambling?
No.
Wait, no, what happened? What'd you do?
It landed on, bro.
Did you
That
lose-
landed on the
We
X.
can't buy anything until tomorrow because the computer's off.
Okay.
One more for the road. Can't. Where did our 25 coins go?
Wait, what is this?
Unicorn hat.
Oh yeah, our vet bill is due tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I think
need
we
to
have
look at the
enough.
So wait, are we gonna lose $60?
We have 84, so I think we're chilling. I'm getting on the bus.
Bro, there's fucking bone in the sinew everywhere. Hold on, I gotta clean this.
Yeah, is there anything else we can clean to get extra money?
Yeah, I think I have like. Oh wait, this needs to be stopped.
What? He's popping
Who's
rounds.
popping?
Who's popping rounds?
All right, I'm coming. Yes, pop. Bro, why do they sound like the same? Like, why do these gunshots sound like the same like wave sound they use for like 50 Cent's fucking Many Men? Okay.
Oh, it really does. Many men.
Listen to Many Men. Two.
Wish death on me.
Do we save our pet?
84.
Oh no.
Human killed,
Oh,
$30.
yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, that
Okay,
was the
how
guy
do
that fell in the trap, I think.
It was, yeah. Okay, the traps have to be like at the end, obviously.
A bill comes in the mail
bill
for
comes-
3 days.
Oh, I can do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay the bill.
I have like $3 left. Honestly, real life.
You lose
You lose
$40, but you see
$40.
Pizarro's condition improve. He has the strength to join your next shift.
What?
Beaker
Are they gonna
Parker
help us
in the
attack?
game.
Okay, let's see. This game's sick.
Bro, Tommy Delgado.
Oh, we lit.
Wait, you shot the real Tommy Delgado.
Oh, and then I let the other doppelganger go.
And then Colin ran into the trap. We witnessed that.
Wait,
But the-
Derek Vaughn claims to only wear one jacket, yet his jacket is different to the one in his ID. Oh, that's very subtle.
What?
Oh, wait, okay, so he mentions a sister, right? But like he doesn't say the name. So how would I search like can you like search by family members on there?
Well, you would just search the last name Delgado because they're related, right?
Ooh, I didn't know if she
Wait,
took his last
also,
name.
Derek Vaughn. Wait, I remember Derek coming in, but I guess we thought he was chill. Is that why?
I thought he was chill, yeah, but he had
did.
a different jacket slightly.
Bro, he was a chill beast.
Wait, we suck.
Say
we
that
go.
wasn't the worst it could be, but it was not great.
Hey, we
Oh my
survived, I'll
God.
take it.
Dude, look at Beaker and Affleck. And Bizarre.
Oh, look at them.
Look at, they're so cute. Oh my God.
Wait, that's awesome.
Wait, do they just like do their own? They just like have their own trajectory all night?
Dude, Pizarro looks mad healthy.
Bro,
Yeah,
that's my boy.
Hold on, Look at these cuties.
Hey, he
I
looks- he
have
looks
seen
like
it.
healthy like Brian and
Please
stuff.
no spoilers, just for
I like
everyone
how
that
they just
hasn't
like
seen it.
fuck
But
off on
I
them.
really liked
Wait,
it.
are they gonna go outside and then we have to like make sure?
W
they
that you saw it
fly?
though.
Oh wait, that's stressful.
Guys, look at Beaker Parker,
Oh my, this is a fucked up like Tamagotchi kind of game.
Alright, I'm gonna read the
a
back.
brand new quack.
Good news. Some contractors came and fixed the gas pump. Along with your current duties, now you need help. Now you need to help
Affleck, I
drivers by
love you.
pumping their gas. You must also
Yeah,
detect if they're
Hey,
they or their cars are doppelgangers.
Jack.
hey, are we allowed to pet them?
What is that thing?
I think so. That's Banth doing his late night PUBG voice. I think.
Oh, we have to
Well-
pump gas for customers now.
Oh
God,
no.
All right, what are we rocking today, fam? I'm gonna be a horse bitch. Go Ducks! All right, we got $10 rev. That's not good. I don't think.
20.
Ask the driver how you can help use the flashlight to search their car for suspicious items. Look up the license plate. Question the driver on these topics. You are not a cop, ignore normal crimes.
Wait,
It's mad
why is it reminding us of that?
responsibility, bro.
We have $20 now.
Oh shit, I got a gun.
Guys, we need
Uh,
a dedicated gas station attendee.
Oh,
Okay.
like one of us has to go out, or we have to hire one.
Like one of us has to do it. There's just like there's gonna be car doppelgangers, bro. It's like the movie Cars.
So wait, Whiskey, how do you tell if they're doppelganger in the car?
It says the note outside says how to do it. Then we got to read the thing in the back too.
We actually have to help them pump.
Naturally, you must also
What
detect
is
if
this,
they
New
are.
Jersey?
Yeah, I think we
Okay.
actually
What
have
is
to
New
not dig
Jersey?
around.
Okay.
Wait, I can. Where's the box for to stock the shelves? We don't have any.
The driver comes by. We should order some stuff though.
Wait, why did that sound
The
like the
computer's
beginning of
off
a rap song?
until you guys read the notes. I think the computer's off.
Okay, I'm reading it now. Ask the driver how you can help.
Did
Use
that
this
sound like the beginning
flashlight
of a rap
to
song?
search the
It's
car
Solo Q or something?
for suspicious items. Look at the license plate. Question driver on these topics. If driver's story doesn't line up, you're permitted to open fire. You are not a cop. Ignore normal crimes. Only act on doppelganger threats.
I'm gonna read that soon too. I wanna stock this fucking shell. Wait, do we have stamina?
I don't think so.
This burger's crazy.
Corbus, let's
Did you
go.
read the note outside the gas station?
No, let me
He's-
go
yeah,
out.
He's filling.
I
He's
guess we
filling
just
up
can't
the
stock that
store.
yet? All right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Ask
Beaker.
driver how you can help. Use the flashlight. Search for the car, suspicious items. Oh, this is even more. This game's great. You are not a cop.
Oh! Guys!
What?
Outside,
What happened?
outside,
Who's
back
our-
door.
Kirkin hard or
Oh my god. Oh.
Lopes, Lopes.
Lopes.
what?
Come back out here.
God.
Bro.
Is he here?
Many men.
Oh, he's holding the fucking never-ending tool guy. Oh,
Are we
wait,
not-
That's the guy. The tall
It's the
dude.
dentist, bro. It's the dentist.
Are we not supposed to look
it's
at
the
him?
fucking dentist. Honestly, kill him. Hey, Cap.
I don't know if we can. You have a gun? Shoot him.
So
I'll shoot him.
I do.
Oh!
What? What are we? Was that bad?
Oh, I mean, I guess we're gonna
Wait,
find out.
look
later.
behind you, dude. Praise the entity. What the heck?
What just happened?
Wait,
What
did
just
you say it
happened?
out here, too? Banth, we fucked up, maybe. Let the entity replace you? Oh, hold on. There's a customer outside. Customer.
Customer's always right.
There's a customer outside.
Oh, customer. Okay. All right, you do whiskey. I'm gonna watch you. I got your back.
I think we gotta check the car for.
Yeah, we gotta check everything. Let's see.
Bro, there's a bunch of
I don't know.
guns in the back.
Wait, I don't know how cars work though. Look,
Wait, take the guns. Confiscate the guns.
take the cannolis. Oh, bro,
It won't let
it's-
me.
What is this, Pablo-esque? It won't let you take it. Let me question him. Excuse me, sir. Why are you
Search the
stacked like?
license
Why
plates.
are you fucking armed like Pablo-esque? Pile of guns. Don't act like that's surprising anymore. Oh, is it because the world we live in? Is that what he's trying to say? Have you seen that there are 2 serial killers knocking about nowadays? I need to protect myself. Yeah, there's 2, not 200. Why do you have that many
I'm
guns?
gonna I'm gonna
Oh,
run
I
this
gotta
place.
interview him
I'm gonna
too.
run
That's
this place.
right.
Okay. I know damn well you got a
04,
stash of guns somewhere in store too. Yeah, you know what? He just clocked me, guys. I got clocked just now.
Guys, according to the plates, he should have a blue station wagon with dirt marks on the lower exterior,
Okay.
and registry expired in 1994.
Okay. Bro, is that gasoline or piss? You just put it on him.
He only wants 13
Wait.
bucks for it.
Is this a station wagon or a fucking SUV? I guess it's a station wagon, but it looks
I think it's
really.
a wagon.
Yeah, I think it's a wagon.
If the driver checks out, tell them to leave. Is this guy legit? I can't tell.
I think he is. I think he might be. Yeah.
Like, what was the story?
He did give me a read. He was saying like, of course I have guns. There's 2 killers that don't. You have guns. Like he kind of clocked me a little bit. Fucked me up, actually.
Okay, tell me. Yeah, get out of here.
And
Okay,
it does look
alright,
like a
we got
station wagon with a dirty underkit or whatever the fuck. All right, get out of here, you piece of shit. Don't ever come back.
Papa's tire.
All right, we got a customer inside too.
Okay. Oh, we have 2.
We got pets
Psycho.
running around. What are they gonna do?
Oh yeah, we do. Our pets are just chilling.
There's Duke in the fucking bathroom again.
Please.
One sec. Banth, ring this guy up. I gotta. Hey,
Yo,
they got
I
any
should
deals
order
on
weapons. Like
beer?
real talk.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This guy's name is Travis Dunn. He's unemployed.
Wait,
It says he's a
explosive.
complete
Complete loser.
This is somehow married. My brother-in-law looks over the net database. Dude hates me. What teeth? Oh yeah, I ain't got any.
He seems like an okay
Wait,
guy.
wait, wait,
Why are they
wait.
fucking him up?
Oh, our balance on the store
He has teeth.
is. Dude, I'm buying all the shit. We have a good balance in the store.
Does he have teeth? I can't tell if he has teeth.
Make him
I'll be
smile.
right there, give me a sec.
Does he have teeth?
What a weird question to ask someone, he said. Lopes, did you order a C4?
Yes.
The C4 just came by.
Tacos. Okay, yeah, hold it, because that's gonna be clutch.
Born in 58. Feels like forever ago.
We have $170 in our store credit. Also, that thing is huge.
Speaks with a noticeable lisp.
Well, how would we know?
Bro, why does this guy look
He
like
has
Putin?
teeth,
low-key?
right? Doesn't
My
he
eyes
have teeth?
okay?
He looks like Putin, but not 5'3".
Are his teeth? Are his lips white or does he have teeth? I can't tell.
It's teeth, I think.
If it's teeth, then he's fake.
See, so you're saying he's teethless.
Complete loser.
Pop his ass. Wait, move. I'll set the C4 down.
I can't tell. We should save that for the big boy. I can't tell if he's legit.
We need it for the big monsters. I mean, low-key, I want to do that too, but we need it for the big monsters. He has teeth. I think he's... If he has teeth, is he dead?
If he has teeth, then he's fake.
All right.
Cap him. Cap him. Cap him.
He's gone.
All right, now Pizarro, eat
Wait,
it.
where
No,
you going?
Affleck,
Wait, where you
Affleck,
going?
do not eat it.
Wait,
No, they're
where are you
eating it.
going?
Our pets are. Our pets are eating the shit.
Yo, so we don't need the bags. Yo, what rider died?
That's
This is the best
awesome.
animal.
That's actually, wait, that's actually sick.
No wonder they're in the hospital. They're eating fucking
I was
limbs.
wondering. Yeah, that's true. They're fucking sick.
God, I'm
Alright,
exhausted.
clean
Been
up.
at work since morning. Ready to head home and sleep.
Guy sounds like my aunt. How my aunt talks.
Tasha Lynn,
I'm just
often
cleaning
in
up all the
makeup.
gross.
Makeup makes the tips flow a little more favorably at work.
Wait, is that what you
Tips?
said or she said it?
No, she said that. I didn't say that.
Natasha?
Natasha? Natasha's a hot name, respectfully.
Natasha Lynn? What's her
Night
occupation?
She's a night shift bartender, often in makeup. I mean, I can't really. She kind of looks like she's Natch right now. Am I crazy? Is she not?
She seems fine.
She doesn't really. She looks oral to me.
I think she's fine. I think she's fine.
Scanning. Okay. All right, I'm restocking because I'm wild like that. All right.
What the hell?
Watch
is
out,
this?
Affleck, you fucking dick.
Look at that.
Wait,
Wait,
what? She said she's
Look,
been
is he
working since
moon-
morning. I
is
thought
that
she said
fucking
she's
Super Mario. Oh,
a night
hey.
owl.
bro,
Wait,
Super
what?
Mario.
Guys, don't go. Okay.
Hey, get it.
Wait.
So we need to eat. Hey, hey, hey.
Guys, go look outside when someone's selling something.
Wait, bro's just doing the moonwalk. Did you see that?
Buenos noches, amigo. Don't mind me. These feet won't stop moving, baby.
Can I buy
Says,
something?
Esteban
Okay.
Morales.
Okay, this guy's a doppelganger. He doesn't even know how to act like a fucking bald ass guy.
It says
That's
this
not how
person
he
is
acts.
busy. They can't.
Wait, I do act like
Wait, I'm gonna buy us extra HP.
low Kirk.
Are we down for that?
I think he's legit. Yeah, that's fine. But don't go check outside. There's
Is
someone
he?
out there.
Okay, I'm just gonna say. Oh, fucking Norbert's back. He's got a lemonade.
Ew.
stand.
So we gotta get a gun. Who's this guy?
Hold on.
I don't know.
This guy's legit. No, this guy's cool. This guy's.
Yeah. All right, later, Mario. Bro's just laughing.
This is the Kim K that did the diarrhea in the stall. I'm pretty sure.
So
Wait, this person? I'll get the car. I got it.
we
Dude,
only have 20.
If you watch them leave, they disappear like in fucking Field of Dreams. All right, let me check. Oh, this guy is so racist.
So-
What's up, dude?
Team meeting. I bought something.
Hello.
Okay. What is?
Can I
Hello,
get
I'm
$8
Norbert.
of
You
gas,
shot
please?
me last time, but that's okay. I've had to
What? How's he
eliminate on this
alive?
bright sunny day. Should we drink Norbert's liquids?
Guys, I bought a flamethrower for $150.
Wait, what if he's like a chill doppelganger that like is just like
They don't
comic
care. It's
relief?
fine.
Chad, this guy's car looks pretty clean. His pants fucking suck though.
Guys.
The license
Guys,
plate should match the registry. It's a worn down car. It's still legal.
I fucked up.
Wait,
What?
Do not drink Norbert's lemonade, bro.
Wait, are you tripping a dick right now?
Do not drink Norbert's.
What are you
Wait, is
tripping?
it bad?
I'm tripping balls.
Why do you sound like
That
that?
was actually dude, he's tripping sack right now.
Oh no! Wait, I can't see shit. Oh man. Oh
Wait, how do you
fuck.
not see shit with those eyes?
My everything's yellow.
Rat.
Oh fuck.
Wait, I want to trip ass with my boys. Wait, hold on. Let me just check this. Guys, how can I check this guy's registry?
Oh man.
What are you talking about? Close. Oh, sorry.
Wait,
haven't been
this
able
guy
to
just
wash
stole
those for a
shit.
while?
He just stole shit.
Wait,
This guy.
He did? How do you
Yes.
know? How do you, he's
happened?
gonna disappear like in Field of Dreams.
Oh my! He just stole shit.
Do it. Wait, how do I check this guy's shit in the compute?
No, if he's in the car, you go to the side thing, registration license plate.
Lopes, is this
Oh,
car
where is
mag
that?
legit? Is it
Dude,
legit or
three
not?
three
No, I
jizz.
don't think I haven't checked yet. I haven't checked yet.
Three.
3-1 jizz.
1987
thing.
white station wagon, clean exterior, rusted front wheels.
Yes.
1995 expiration date.
Guys, can you back up for a second?
What?
What the fuck
You
just
just
happened?
C4 him? I think
Why would you do
tripping
that?
ass so hard. You C4 Norbert.
Norbert spiked the punch, man. We gotta get this thing out of here. Oh, you got a hot dog?
This is.
Hot dog looks at a burger.
Wait, the guy
I
in the
can't.
bathroom. In the
I
bathroom.
think this
in the
guy's
bathroom.
chill. I think this guy's chill. I think he's
Did you
chill.
check his, is his vehicle accurate?
Yeah.
Guys, there's
He
shit.
wants $8.
There's shit everywhere.
Yeah, so sometimes they use the bathroom, but they don't buy anything. That's the thing.
Inventory.
Oh, I'm gonna clean up
Alright, sir, you're
shit.
free to go. Get the fuck out of here. You may leave.
5-star reviews, guys.
License plate. Whatever. Fine, get out of here. You may leave. You're wrong. Fuck off, man. Yeah, I think he was legit. Guys, we're getting somebody else. Who's the fuck? I'll answer the phone. I got it.
All right, that's you.
Hello, Sydney. Sup, moron? It's the boss.
What the fuck?
Mind telling me why a shitload of rats? Oh, get the rats. Clear them out before the next customer. You'll get a bonus. Oh, guys, get the rats. We're gonna get a bonus if we kill the rats. Kill the rats.
What the
Kill the
fuck?
rats.
Oh my god, wait.
Die, bitch. Respectfully.
Wait, where's my thing?
Are you just stopping them? Wait, I'm holding one like a baby, dude. I'm holding one like a baby.
I'm holding them.
Oh, I just threw it. Bro, if you pick them up, you can throw them across the wall, across the fucking store.
Whiskey,
I'm
where are
throwing
you?
it. It's dead.
Where is he?
Objective
Where did we
complete.
go?
We did it. Wait, hold on, Bance, watch this. Ready? Bance. Yahoo! No. Oh, wow. That was aggressive and fun.
Did we get the
Oh, wait, they're... I think all of our pets are eating the rat bodies. What? The fucking game is ridiculous.
Did we do everything?
Yeah, before the next customer came. I think we actually legit made some bread for that. Like, really good bread. We made a
Ew!
bag, dude.
I got shat on.
Where is
You
it?
what?
I'll clean it. By this
There's,
guy?
there's Duke in aisle 3. Yeah, careful.
Oh, all right, I'll get it. I'm getting it. I'll get the Duke.
I'll check this person out.
Wait, am I in the wrong aisle?
Lisa,
What I-
do you have any ideas for something I can gift my sister? Her name's Mia, and she's getting
What the
married
fuck?
soon.
Why would we do that? Why would we help you with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck your sister, dude. All right,
Always wears a blue necklace. Is she wearing a blue necklace? No.
No, she's not. You want me to pop her in the fucking tits?
No, she is.
Oh, she is. Okay. Oh my god, I almost fucking killed. Oh, she is. Why is she so faint?
What's her job?
I'm looking her sister up. Her sister's a comic.
Her sister's a stand-up comic?
No, sorry.
What's-
I didn't finish my sentence. She's a comic book store owner.
What does her sister have to do with it?
She wants to get a gift for
I'm
her.
buying Molotovs. Buying landmines? Oh, we have no money left.
We just need to verify that her sister exists.
Yeah, her sister's kind of
Okay.
alive.
So her name
Beaker,
is
stop!
Is her name Mia or Lisa? Who is
Lisa.
Dude, Pizarro looks full, dude.
it? That's Lisa. She's unemployed?
Again?
Keeps her hair tied up, always wears a blue necklace.
Wait, what's up with this bro? What's up with this bro?
That's
This is
what's
my
he doing?
life.
That's Nathan Fielder.
Oh, it does look like him. Dude,
What?
low key, I found out Nathan Fielder from Banth stream.
That's crazy.
Banth, remember you just used to watch Nathan Fielder like for like a few streams?
Yeah, they used to have like full episodes on YouTube.
Yeah, they did. That's true.
I guess this Lisa girl feels AI, but she's oh!
No!
What was that
No!
noise? What was that noise?
Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, okay, we're okay.
What do you mean we're okay?
No, we're okay. Wait, if I drop this, are we gonna die? Okay,
I think
the
she's legit.
Molotovs are for the monsters. I'm gonna hold one. Because I don't trust you guys. It's fine.
Okay.
Yo, this guy's got a gun! He's dressed like a hitman, like a Russian hitman.
Yo, hit him!
Wait,
Whoa,
he's robbing the- Wait, whoa. Why do you got your dick?
Sir.
Respectfully. Are we wearing a diaper? Yo.
Fill the bag
Wait.
with money if you want to live and see your family again. Bro, cap him.
Oh my God. Wait, he's limping.
limping.
Fuck you think this is, bitch? Come to the fucking Boys at Midnight store, think you can live?
Welcome to the BHB hood.
Kirk and Hard or Charlie Kirk?
Where's the mop? There's blood everywhere. Oh, this is
Yeah.
our boss, bro. It's
Oh my
Clyde.
God, this fucking alien dome guy's back. Hey, I'm back. What's up, Clyde? How's the job working out for you? Pretty good, lots of blood. Well, you're still alive, so you're doing better than most.
Does he have
I'm
his
proud
ID
of
on
you,
him?
kid.
Yeah, I'm cleaning up
No, but
feces
he's
again.
I don't think he has lips on him either, to be honest. They're kind of missing right now. Not many are willing to take the job that is dangerous. Your job is dangerous at 9. You don't get your checked ID. Well, you got my check and doesn't mean anything to you. All right. He was chill last time, right?
Oh,
What
he
does he
was,
want,
but
though?
could be,
Oh,
could be a
I'll scan him.
dog.
Is he a dop?
Often in uniform, visible in ID photo. I think he's legit, right?
I think Does he mention anything else?
He just says, no, not really. 250 pounds of pure muscle.
Ask him if he needs any tokens, because we need to gamble.
Still a lemonade stand out here. I did blow the C4 on Norbert, though. Oh,
What do we
Oh,
do?
Okay, I got him out. Board up. Board up or snort up.
Two!
What? 2? Wait, did I let the one blonde, bro? Okay, I got it. Hold on.
I've got something
Drop him into the
dangerous.
board.
No, I've got something real good.
Hold on. Okay, what is it? Did you get the other explosive?
Nope,
I
better.
think we should just hide in the vents this time. What the hell?
Wait, can we do that? Boarding up.
You have a
Let
shotgun?
me get the other door.
It's a flamethrower.
Wait, bro. Should I board up this? No! I just... Wait, we gotta wait till they come in. Wait, guys, come in here. I'm gonna board up.
Okay.
We're gonna be red.
Hold on, I'm placing
We got
trap,
30
placing
seconds.
trap.
We're chill. Oh my God, Beaker Parker, please.
Okay, the bathroom has traps on it. What's the strat here?
All right, I'm gonna board up just so we buy some time.
Oh no!
Bro.
What?
Sorry.
Why does that keep happening? No, it's not that bad. Okay, wait. Can we put a fucking... All right, we got 6 seconds. All right.
Okay, we got it. We got it. We got
The
it.
other Molotov.
There's
Oh,
no
wait,
vent
fuck.
out. There's no vent out. There's no vent out here.
Wait, is Beaker Park gonna be okay? Oh, your cat. Your cat is trying to get.
Wait, the cat. That's my cat.
Oh.
My cat.
Oh, fuck.
My cat.
Oh. Fuck my goose out.
He's in the front. He's in the front. No, Bizarro. Bizarro.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Why? He's like 9 shots. He's running away.
Well done.
Bro.
Well done.
Wow, boys. Dude, the flamethrower is club.
Help me.
I wonder if.
Wait, are you all right? Where are you? Are you on all fours? Wait, where are you? Why is bro in the corner, like, ready for it? All right, I got you.
Oh, thank you.
Help me.
That's a solid day's work.
I dropped the shotgun through the wall.
Bro, the flamethrower does absolute.
Oh, mother.
Love to see it. Here.
Yeah, like, can I put the flamethrower back, or like, what's up?
Yeah, I think it could. Can you like, what is this? What does this wall mean right here? Banth.
My flamethrower just went to the map, so.
Yeah, same. Maybe it'll show up tomorrow, hopefully.
Oh yeah, head to the bus. Do our pets come with us, or do they like chill?
Hopefully they chill. We need to mop a little more. Yeah.
Dude, I'm actually gonna.
I think we're chilling. I think we got everything we need.
Okay.
Our quota was only 45. It's easy.
Dude, we have 145 Michelles right now. How much store revenue do we have though? Let's see. Oh, you can't tell. It's off.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, can I drink the lemonade?
Yeah. Hey, one more time.
Oh my god, bro.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
not
honestly
tripping.
thinking about applying the
You're gonna
retail,
trip out in a
guys.
second.
No, I
If you
think
get
my
on the bus,
tolerance
please
is
start
just.
This is kind of getting me excited
Okay.
for it.
Oh my god, wait, it's kind of yellow. Oh wait, yeah, I'm kind of fucked. Hold on.
Shared bonus 18. No humans killed. You guys didn't kill anyone today. Wait, that's huge. Wait, a check with it? Wait, a check spelled E-Q-U-E? Huh? What? Checky? Check away? 2 days until.
Bizarro's next bill is due. Sorry, I was getting a Trader Joe's crepe.
You're good. They spelled check with the Q and the U and the E.
All right, I want to see where we messed up. Natasha Lynn claims she's been this is what I said. Claims she's been working since morning, but works as bartender in a bar that only works at night. And we
Okay,
work
in my
at
defense,
night.
she said she was a night owl. So like when she said that, I thought, oh. But I guess she's been
Yeah,
working
but she's
since
a night owl,
morning.
but she works in the bartender. Also, the driver shining the flashlight reveals the car was built out of contorting flesh. What?
What?
Shining the
back up.
flashlight reveals. Whoops, you see this? The driver.
What?
was a
No, what
doppelganger.
happened? Who was?
Shining the flashlight reveals the car was built out of contorting flesh.
Oh, what? I didn't do that. Yeah, I forgot about the
That's
flat. Wait, so
crazy.
is the fucking blonde bitch that I let go, was he a bad boy? I think he was.
Yeah, he was, and then Natasha Lynn
Wait, no, there were-
was also bad.
wait. There were 2 drivers. One was human, one was not.
I think there's only one driver.
Ground
there's two.
meat
the
for a
first- yeah, the first
car.
guy's legit. Yeah, yeah.
Hold on, I need a beer. I'm scared.
Why? What's happening? Peter? Guys, what's happening?
It's raining blood and I'm eating a crate from Trader Joe's.
You got groceries? Wait, when did you start getting groceries again?
What do you mean, when did I start getting
You at Trader Joe's?
Yeah, we've had Trader Joe's essentially.
What?
Yeah.
I've never been to Trader Joe's. Oh!
This is awesome. What are you talking about?
Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey. Let's say for Lopes. Let's say for Lopes. Hey, Lopes.
Yes.
You might want to come see this.
I think we have
Okay.
to run, right? I think we gotta run. We gotta run.
I'm playing Raining Blood by Slayer.
Bro, we gotta run.
Check the back room.
What?
We gotta go, bro. Didn't it say if we see him, we have to run in the other direction?
Bro's haircut is ass.
Bro's got that like, bro's got like Wolverine slash like the what's his name from Stranger Things in season 5, like the
Wait,
most
can you guys
fucked
look at me
up.
and just can you guys look at me and just headbang real quick?
Hey, ready? Is this good?
Go. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Whiskey.
Oh, look at him. Should we go home?
You what do we do?
Oh, it says, listen up, meatheads. You might be wondering what that thing in the break room is. Don't worry, it's just a corpse. A local mystic told me that displaying it will help ward off doppelgangers. Try to forget it's there. Okay, sure, man.
In the back room, it's supposed to ward them off.
I guess.
Yeah, it's just a corpse, guys. Remember that guy, that streamer?
Bro, the blood is ridiculous. Honestly. All right, sorry. Let me go read the notice. So is he just gonna? Is he like? Do we not have a choice about dentist, bro?
Apparently he's chill.
Oh. Listen up, meatheads. You might be wondering what the thing is in the break room. Don't worry, it's just a corpse. A local mystic told me.
Oh, we're
that
open. We're open.
displaying
We're
it-
open.
We're
Oh.
open.
Oh, we're open. Okay.
Urgent blood moon tonight. As you may have noticed from the rain, a blood moon will occur tonight. For those aware, a blood moon signifies that the entity will. An entity attack is guaranteed. Completing transactions with doppelgangers will trigger even stronger assaults.
Oh, great.
Okay. Sick. Kind of terrible, but also sick.
Ricky,
The
how's
blood
that
moon
gas station
rises
run
once
treating you?
again.
You're making moves while you're still stuck in the rat race. Who's this guy? This guy's name's Ricky Lawson.
Oh God, Ricky Lawson, not this guy again.
June 7th.
My dad called me numbnuts
He's a
last night.
college dropout. Apparently he
His
has
lips are
one
really
lazy
tight.
eye. He has one lazy eye.
No,
Can you confirm?
he doesn't. Nope, that is not lazy.
Okay, and
His
usually
eyes
he
t-
buys
his-
2 packs of cookies.
No, that eye is busy, bro. That is not a lazy.
That eye is busy.
Are you
Bro,
sure
that
it's
eye is
not a lazy
active. No, it looks pretty active.
eye? That is kind of an active eye.
I know I didn't deserve
Let's see.
I don't know. Is that active?
Chat, is that lazy? Is that lazy? I think we gotta go to chat for this one. Oh, wait, who's just coming in now?
Is that lazy?
Why does everyone look like a bro that's coming in?
I mean,
The way whiskey's all up on that.
which eye? Which eye is supposed to be lazy?
Yeah. Which,
Apparently
which eye?
his, it doesn't say. It just says.
No, he's fine.
It says he has one lazy eye. I don't know. He's fake.
Yeah, I don't think he's. Hold on, should we talk to him? Why do people just come in and bounce? Head.
Ask him about his head.
Why are you asking about my face, dude? Weird as hell. What?
I shoot him. Shoot him.
I honestly think we should. I think we
Wait,
shoot
wait,
him.
Wait, hold on. let me- Oh!
No, he had to go, bro. Listen, he didn't. it
Yeah, the
wasn't
lazy guy was
100%
off.
accurate.
Oh,
Wait,
so-
why is this car gliding like that? Oh, this guy's a fucking murderer, bro. This guy looks nuts.
What the
Wait,
hell?
or is he low-key just like Fetty Whopping, respectively?
I'm gonna check out the car outside.
Wait, hold on. Fetty Wap is at the fucking counter.
Let me get
Whoa!
$25 of gas real quick.
Hello, sir.
I'm gonna check this car. Hold on.
Man, what did he do?
He just like ran up to me. New topic
Throwing the
unlocked.
pistol
You can
on
now
the-
ask about this.
Dude, he's kind of Fetty Wapped. Will it say something about his
Yeah, let's gotta
eye?
get this driver.
Wonder if you'll be mine.
What's the new topic that we unlocked?
Danny
It's for the guy
Flores,
outside, it's for the guy
elementary
outside.
school gym teacher, always
Hey, that's for
smiling,
my
blind,
safety.
and
If you
left
wanna
eye.
get
Oh,
past
I'm
it,
so
then
sorry,
it's
sir.
They told me
Wait,
it was the highest grade
guys,
school
where's our
battle.
pets?
It's
Left
trying to
eye's a
break.
dud. Left eye is a dud, but that just means I've got fresh perspective. Okay, I kind of fuck with this guy. He's got a good attitude. Limbs, I don't know,
I need
pretty
the gun, I need to
muscular.
open the car.
Hey, you're looking pretty jacked yourself. Okay, I
Guys,
like
our
this guy.
pets.
He's giving me compliments. He's noticing good things about me. Haha, no clue what to say about that, dude. Yeah, this guy's legit.
Wait, guys, where's our
Alright, since you're in
ducks?
the sweat-
Where's our
Since
cats?
you're in the sweatshirt, I'm gonna call you Sweaty Wop. All right, man. Have a good night.
FG8S.
Take care. You're hot.
Has anyone
I like
seen
that guy.
Beaker
That guy was-
Parker?
No.
Oh no.
Dude, cheeky.
I think this
What's the
guy's
license
legit.
plate?
I think he's legit.
Yo, someone ate a salad back here and left the carton open.
What is that
Took a
like?
shit? Bro, also someone took a huge, fat, disgusting shit.
I think this guy's real.
Or as Whiskey would say, someone dropped a serious dude. Okay. Someone dropped a Duke Ellington. Yo, do you want me to scope this bitch? Sorry.
Oh
I think this guy's good. No, I checked that.
no no no. Submit the work and just put that in there and see if they notice.
Cash out the ass butt.
I don't know. I asked him about it.
We did. We put this as a demo back in October.
Shut the hood for you, brother. All right, you just be safe out there on the road. And thanks for stopping by the BHB station.
How are the customers
Alright,
inside
yeah.
doing?
We have no customers.
I don't think anyone's in here.
Oh, who's this idiot?
Oh, what the bald fuck?
Bro, what is this?
Okay.
His name's Jack, apparently.
Okay, Jack. Jack, what are you
He's
about?
buying
What do you want?
chips.
All right, he's getting chips. Is he
Should
getting
we just shoot
sushi?
him?
No, should we get a ceiling fan?
Wait, evening.
Howard-
Just stopping
Howard
in.
Elkins.
Been a long shift at the shop. All right, he said something about the shop. What does he say?
Well, he's a mechanic, but the thing is, his name tag says Jack, but his real name is Howard, according to his ID.
Okay, let me ask him about it.
Wait, let's get security scanners.
What's wrong with the name tag? Yeah, I'm Jack. Pleasure to meet you. Wait, it says Howard.
Wait,
Bro.
look at his head. He's wearing a...
Wait, guys, we have security
like-
scanners
yeah,
now,
he
so
looks like a-
if people steal things, it'll catch it.
He looks like a fucking frustrated baby, dude.
I hate him. No! Oh, great. Are we sure he was bad? Whiskey, was he bad?
Bro, who the fuck just farted? What was that sound?
What was that
Please, did you guys
sound?
see- please tell me you saw the cow. Please tell me you saw the cow outside.
No, bro, I've been asking you questions. You've been ignoring me.
Did you not see the cow that said no one will believe you?
No, bro. I'm not on push to talk, am I? No.
I swear on my life, a cow walked up to the front of the store. I walked outside and said, no one will believe you, and then it vanished.
Dude, I
Oh,
gotta
he's
get rid of
back.
this fucking flashlight. It's like-
Guys, you gotta believe me. I swear to God.
Wait, what happened?
There was a cow that walked up and said, no one will believe you, and then it vanished.
What?
You have to trust me.
Vance, what's up with this fucker?
He is wearing the same thing in his ID. I think he's clean. If someone steals something, by the way, it's gonna catch it's gonna catch it in the scanner.
I'm cleaning up the limbs.
Answer the phone.
Fuck, it's an objective. Yeah.
Evening, dumbass.
Evening, dumbass. Not aggressive. What does all this
Painting?
mean, man? Yeah, creepy painting. I set up in the break room. I left you a note. Okay. I guess look at the note. I'll clean up. Oh my god, you just killed a rat.
Yeah. Oh, look at the painting.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Ew.
Not like that. What? That's so creepy. Wait, why do you need to look at this? What's that gonna
Yeah,
do for us?
is there a note?
I'm gambling.
Give us a hat.
Okay, I'll take it.
Big tongue.
Dude, wait, don't say anything yet. Ready? Just equip it. And then let's go outside and see what he says. Are you ready? Wait. What? You like my tongue, girl? Evening, just stocking up for my 2 little ones. Oh, she's got
what are you
kids.
wearing?
Killer.
You guys want to hear some freaky shit that just happened?
What?
Someone was pounding on my door.
What? Well, okay.
I opened it and it was my neighbor, and I don't know if it's just because I'm playing this game, but it was like my neighbor, but it kind of didn't look like my neighbor. And they were like, "Hey, I left my keys. Like I locked myself out. Thanks for letting me in." And it kind of didn't.
Wait,
look like
in
my
real
neighbor.
life?
Yeah, in real life.
Wait, did you shoot them? No, I'm kidding.
No, but like it freaked me out. I don't know if it's just because we're playing this game, but I was like, it looked slightly off. Like it was a little
No,
taller than
that
my
is
neighbor and
so.
stuff.
You just got doppelganged in IRL.
Bro, don't. I'm
Are
actually.
you
gonna
are you
freak out.
capping?
No, I'm being dead. I'm being dead ass.
Oh, that's why you were gone for. Cause yeah, you weren't saying anything. What, bro? Who would time that like that? Like the universe is fucked for that, actually. Wait, were his
freaking me
teeth?
out.
Were his teeth weird?
Martha
Oh,
Collins.
no, actually, on second thought. Wait, hold on. I'm freaking.
Wait, no.
Lee
low-key,
and
I'm actually-
Ken.
That time has that even ever happened? Why would that happen at shift at midnight?
Wait. Mother of 2, right?
Wait, what happened? Yeah, mother of 2. Yes. Wait, what happened?
No, there's no Ken Collins. Where's
Wait,
the gun?
Her name's Ken. I think
Whiskey.
Whiskey has it. No, wait. I think Whiskey's tripping out because of what happened. Wait, get closer, a little bit closer to him, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. No, a little bit more. Keep going forward. Yeah, perfect. Wait, turn.
Whiskey shooter.
Wait, why'd you just? Wait, how'd you know?
Because her kid
That was
didn't
Ken.
exist.
How do I know what?
What the
Who
fuck
this,
is
bro?
that?
Look at this person.
Damn. What's up, Queen?
Guys,
Wait,
hello.
why does she have paint all over her? Oh my god, she's pale as fuck, low-key. Yo, guys, does this not look like what's that? Noodles. It's not ramen, but it's really spicy. It's so good, and it's like
Who
Yoo-hoos.
said hello?
Negan.
Oh,
Who is this?
Lena Rowe.
Lena Rowe.
We are Legion.
She has pale complexion and she has paint stains. And she was born. She's
We need our-
I think, right?
We need
Is
a
she legit?
bag.
Yo, we might be crushing this actually.
Okay.
Do we even do our objective?
I think so. You know, yeah, it said
Wait,
go
grenades.
to the back wall of the painting.
I'm buying extra HP. No, I'm not.
Wait, what? When did this happen?
Stun grenade.
Why you were like gone
What
forever?
happened to the What happened to the statue?
It went
Do
away.
not take a shit,
The phone
man.
call happened.
Ma'am, don't drop that shit. Do not drop that fucking shit. I swear to God, I'm watching you.
is she-
Also,
is she
take
legit?
your pants down when you poop. Wait, who just shit? Oh, she shit everywhere, dude.
Oh, great.
Oh, what a fucking clown. What a shit clown. All right, I cleaned it, boys.
We got a new delivery. What is this thing? What is this thing?
Oh, I think we're clean and spotless.
Yo, I do not want Band-Aid to find these.
What do you mean? I'm what?
Nothing. Nothing.
Is this person clean?
Yeah, I think they're clean. I think they're clean. Can we, how do we clean up the stuff that's like on the ground?
Oh no!
It doesn't matter now. I'm boarding up everything.
The blood moon calls.
How many
Oh God,
doppelgangers
what does
we
that
got in?
mean? Bloodmoon's got a phone?
I don't think we had any doppelgangers actually, which is good.
Yeah, did we actually crush that?
Weapons are still unlocks later. Lay traps and hide.
Lay traps.
I'm gonna put a trap here.
I got a trap down in the bathroom.
I see grenades.
Yeah, no, don't take them all. Just
All right,
one.
whatever you do,
One
don't
for
walk
each.
through. Don't walk behind the counter. I put a trap there.
do
Don't
not
walk there.
throw that shit.
I got a
You
grenade.
need
I have a
it.
grenade.
I know, it's terrifying. Don't do anything with the whiskey. There's a. Oh, I don't need this. I'm taking the other grenade. I have two. Oh my God! Wait, Ben. No, you know
I don't
what?
have one. Where's the shotgun? Where's the
Bro,
shotgun?
bro, why do you look like Brett or whatever his name is from fucking
Get in the vent, get in the
Anchorman?
vent, get in the vent, get in the vent, get in the vent, get in the vent.
Okay. Oh,
No, I'm
the
not getting in the
no,
vent.
Okay, I'll go.
It
Yeah,
said
wait.
to get
What
in
if
the
that
vent.
kills us? It did? Okay, I'm doing it. Wait. No, it didn't. Come here. Man, get in here.
Wait. What the
What is that poop? It's a poop monster. Oh, wait.
Wait, just chill.
Wait, what? What? Wait, my mic is pretty quiet. Why? Oh, maybe that's why.
For 3 hours.
What? That's so weird. Is it that bad?
Bro, it's killing me.
Ow.
Slime him out.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
All right, we're good. I think we're good. Man, come here.
I killed a baby in the game.
Thank you.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Okay, the
Wait, I kinda
flamethrower
might edit
sucks.
Me too.
Ow!
Why is it echoing?
Ow.
Wait, Ben, did you turn your push talking? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's been
bad.
muted for like 20 minutes.
'Cause as
Oh.
he runs away, I can hear my voice.
Wait. No, I have it on
Oh,
voice activation.
How does homie keep getting a flamethrower?
Wait, is this better?
Also, wait. Yeah, that's way better, yeah. I can hear it.
Okay.
You're killing it. Yeah, boy, good job. Good shit.
Why is that?
Yeah, the quote of the night though. Yeah, be quiet for like 3 hours. That's so funny.
Well, bro, I didn't know my mic. Bro, I don't know how to fix the mic though. Maybe I can like.
I think you sound better now. No?
Just got home from brand new day.
I'm cleaning up the trash.
This is a nice little supermarket sim.
Y'all hear something? I can't believe Sammy played this solo.
Wait, it's kind of like I feel like badass, but also like solo.
Smokey's scary. Oh, it's still raining blood out here? I didn't know that.
Can I say I love how oddly like specific this game is. Like it's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
I think we can go to
Man, is that thing dead?
You want to go in there?
I'm gonna see what happens if you let it eat you.
I know there's a jump scare vent. I don't know which one it is. Like, oh, whiskey, no.
Am I okay?
You're so fucked. You're gonna kill the store.
Oh, it pushes you out.
Wait, what? So, oh, it just pushes you. Oh, so maybe you can buy some time until.
Yeah.
But it's not hurting you, right?
No, feels great.
Feels great.
Man, how are you getting shotguns and flamethrowers, big dog?
I spent all of our money in one
Stop real
round.
quick.
Oh, stocking an item. How'd you do that? Or I know what you're talking about. Never mind. I'm up to game. Stocking with the boxes. I was like, wait, stock item.
Did we head out there?
Yeah, let's go. I'm getting on the bus.
Wheels on it.
No, did you ever grab a cerveza?
I did. I have one here right now. You?
What flavor?
It was a
brand?
bat.
Light Coronita.
Wait, I also have a Corona.
Right now?
No, it's in the fridge. I kind of want to grab it if you got one.
Dude,
I thought you
I'm holding
I thought you started drinking Blue Moons again.
I haven't had a Blue Moon, no joke, since 2021.
what the fuck? What do you mean real bus, bro? What do you mean the real bus? Get to the real bus. Get to the real bus.
That
Wait,
got me
did you hear
so
that?
bad.
Yo, is this
Wait,
job worth it?
I think that was a really good run.
Bro, I thought it was 4 a.m. for a hot second.
One day remains until Pizarro's next medical bill.
Wait, whiskey. I'll have a simultaneous sip with you.
I gotta go grab it. Oh, I want to see how we did. Ricky Lawson, Dopp. Daniel Real, Howard, Dopp.
Wow, we crushed.
Wait, was that flawless?
Bro, perfect run. Yeah, perfect
That was
run.
flawless, dude. The
Wow.
driver from the driver. How are we so unserious but so untouched as well?
Yo, that scared the shit out of me, by the way.
Yeah, no, I actually got that feeling like. Remember, like you would leave a room that was dark and get that shivering feeling, like at the
Yes.
last step
Yes.
before you left.
That's how I felt walking back to my desk.
Getting just now.
No, like when my fake neighbor pulled up.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah, that's
what?
weird. That's crazy, actually. And the neighbor thing is so wild. Like, why would they? Do they ever really like pull up like that?
No, they've never done that, and it was like a 6'8" version of my neighbor, and I was like, all right, I guess you can come in.
What the heck, dude?
Freaked me out. There's no notice in the back.
Wait, chat. Did we get the clip of whiskey walking back, just like pale faced? Like, guys, I don't think that's my
shaking.
neighbor.
Wait, there's no
just
note.
shaking up.
How do we start this?
Oh yeah, it's a new night. Read the note on the.
Oh, in the counter.
Doppel detection hardware. This is a motoscope. It reads customers' emotions, allows you to question them on their emotion.
Oh, great.
It's 100% accurate, but take note. Take note. Some doppelgangers are able to replicate human emotions, some can't.
Yo, can I just say how we fucked up like the second night, like bad, and then like we're on the 5th night and crushed that? It's so funny. Some doppelgangers
we're moving
are
different.
able to replicate human emotions. P.S. This equipment is stupidly expensive.
Let it replace you?
I think Whiskey's got it.
I already read it, I think. Yeah, needs to read it. I'm putting the traps and boards in the back.
Okay. Whisk, let me know when you're ready to sit.
Oh, yeah, I gotta go grab it.
Okay.
Wait, we have an email.
Oh yeah, we do.
New,
Yeah, what's the
new
email
creature
say?
spotted. Tall black creature spotted around the entity. It's extremely fast and strong, but looking directly at it will freeze it in place. While frozen, it's completely invincible to damage. Traps must be set up in advance to deal with this creature. That's kind of nuts. Hold on, Ramona's chopping it up with me. Alright, Lips, I'm grabbing my thing.
All right.
Wait, so how do you review their emotions?
Wait, Lopes, I'm grabbing my thing is a crazy thing to say to somebody.
Oh, you only get on occasional days, so we don't have it today, or we do?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I would imagine since they're letting us know now that we should have it. Oh, customers are coming in. Oh my God, Banth,
What?
Ramona, I got this.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Lopes, I
Occupation
grabbed my thing.
Ramona's. Okay, thank you for grabbing it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We need to gamble.
Alright, what's Ramona's vibe?
Ramona is a beauty and nails owner.
It is? Am I dumb?
It says person found.
Oh, hey, guys, it's right here. It's the motoscope.
Yes.
Guys, it says the person is craving human flesh.
What? Hold on. Point device at customers to analyze their mood. Bro, I need this for some of my viewers sometimes. Okay.
Appreciating the texture.
That's weird.
Craving human flesh. Ask why. Craving. That's an ugly way to put it. I'd say appreciating the texture.
Wait, Banth, what are you
yeah.
feeling?
I mean, that's
Wait, Banth, don't
fucked,
move.
regardless.
Wait, don't move. It says you're frustrated.
Bro, who's slurping on things? Did you guys hear that? Someone's
It says
slurping
Banthony's
shit.
frustrated.
I'm not
gonna ask you
frustrated.
why. It says you're frustrated.
I'm gonna shoot her.
Wait, do not shoot her.
She wants
Lopes,
human
come here, come here.
flesh.
Okay.
I gotta scan you.
Okay.
It says you're feeling tired.
It says you're feeling hungry.
It says I'm frustrated.
I'm hungry.
It says Banth is frustrated and that you're hungry.
And you're tired. It's like the holy trinity of discomfort.
Honestly, kind of true. I'm just fucking so.
Should we kill her? Like,
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, if she says she wants flesh, that's kind of crazy. Also, someone's like a huge duke. I'm gonna clean it. Duke is clean. I repeat, the Duke is clean.
there's a baddie in aisle 2. Everyone stay vigilant. I'm gonna clean up the. We don't get our pets with us.
Yeah. All right. Some sort of
I'll
hipster
get the
just walked in.
So many people are here.
Can someone
Yeah,
throw the
Beth
rat
is,
against
Beth
the wall?
is talking to me. Fuck off, Beth. Cleaning. All right, let me see what Beth wants. Give me 1 second.
Any trash? I'm going out real quick.
Occupation unemployed.
Banth.
Scar on her left cheek.
Wait, why did we lose money for that?
Did you kill the wrong person?
No, he
Why
he
did
like
we lose money for that? You slimed out 2
No.
innocent people.
no. He like took stuff from the shelf and then was walking out the store.
Okay. So let him steal. That's why we have what's that thing called?
Oh no.
Yeah, I think this chick is chill. She has a crazy scar on her face. It says that, and she was like, her emotions were like kind of relaxed. I'm gonna bet her items.
What's her ID?
Bro, why does that? It literally sounds like the same gun clap in Many Men 50 Cent. Like, that's hilarious to me.
I think she's legit. Did she have the scar?
Yeah, she had the scar, and the way she responded to the emoticon was kind of like, "Hey, you're a weirdo. Why is this person naked?"
Wait, did you? She disappeared. Did you check her out?
Yeah, I checked her out. She was chill. Yeah, she
Okay,
had a scar.
okay. I'm gonna go throw this away.
What is going on? Yo, Ben, the image of her and your tongue and looking at her is so crazy right now.
They're warm. The person's feeling warm.
Hey there, I'm just after some supplies for the beer.
Whiskey, stop.
Might as well enjoy. Wait, Whiskey, do that again. This angle is crazy, bro.
No, I was taking. Hold on, I was taking a screenshot. Hold on. Check the.
Might
the
as well
chat.
enjoy it now while it's still nice and warm and sunny. It's not warm and sunny. It looks like the end of the days outside. She's lying, dude. Elise Hart. Okay. Police officer? Yeah, right. In your bra. That's a reference. Exactly 7 piercings. Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Warm.
Police officer?
Ask why.
Banth, I got a
Yeah, well,
pretty,
the sun's blazing out there.
got a pretty damning screenshot of you, Banth. Check this.
Not at all. Guys,
do
am
you
I
mean?
tripping or is the sun not out at all? And she's lying.
What did
Bro,
you say about the sun?
She keeps saying that it's hot out and she's gonna go hit the beach, and it literally looks like the end of the days outside. And
Where
then
did she say that?
If you check that and then you talk to her, and then I use the emoticon on her, and she goes warm, and then she goes, yeah, well the sun's out, and it's not out. Yeah, well the sun's blazing out there. Am I tripping or is the
It says
sun?
she's a police officer. Does she have 7 piercings? It says she has 7 piercings.
She does have
Yeah,
7
she does have
piercings.
7 piercings, but she does not look like a fucking police officer. She looks off duty as fuck.
Oh, shoot her.
You guys look nuts right now.
You want to
You
shoot her?
should.
She said the
Yeah,
sun's
shoot her.
blazing.
Yeah, like, and literally, it's like an eclipse outside. What is she talking about?
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. They're just piercing. Okay.
Is there anything else we can ask
Close.
her?
Like I said, pal, I'm headed to the beach.
Maybe she's
Limbs.
fine?
Don't objectify me. Movements. I don't have any answers to that. Bro, I think pop her in the fucking face. Look here.
But maybe she was like coming back from the beach. Maybe that's what it means.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
she's
guess. No.
Maybe she's like from the southern hemisphere.
What is she buying? Does it look like it's for the beach?
She's buying a Snickers, toilet paper, some water,
Olive
and
oil?
olive oil.
Kill her. She's got olive oil. Your body is so funny.
I hope we were right about that.
I'm very curious to know if
Why
you're
is she
right or not.
rocking olive oil? Bro, she was not dressed like a cop, but maybe she was off dude.
I forgot she was. She said she was a cop. Whoa! What the fuck?
Wait. Also, what is happening right now? Oh, it's Norbert.
Norbert!
What the hell?
Norbert,
man?
he's in a
Move,
fucking.
bro, she can't.
He's in a fucking Hummer, dude. Get out of
Wait,
here, Norbert.
His car just despawned.
Yeah, it literally just faded away.
Norbert got a job as an Uber driver. Wait, who's this?
I've never been to Uber driver.
Oh, Mia Cannon. We know her. She's the sister. She's Lisa's sister.
Oh, you're true.
Comic book store owner.
Wait.
Large
It says her-
tattoo.
Where's the
her
motoscope?
birthday's 11th of August. No, she's wrong. She's wrong.
Yeah, it says. Oh yeah, you're right. Wait, hold on.
Unless, wait, hold on.
Wait, December 18th.
She's irritated.
1974. Probably irritated because she's dealing with us.
Banth, shoot her, please.
No.
Shoot her.
Shoot her?
She's fake. She's fake.
Is she really?
This guy gonna take a fat shit.
She doesn't know her own birthday.
Oh, do you take shit? Oh, brother, you can't take shit like that. You can't take shit like this. Come on, brother. What's wrong with you? You can't take shit like that.
Oh, car pulled up. Car pulled up.
All right,
Okay, I'll check.
I'm cleaning up. Wait, did you kill like 50 people? What happened? You can now ask
Does everybody
driver
have
about
tools in the
this.
front? Yeah, I'm gonna ask him about the tools.
Oh, this is Karen. Someone grab the
Okay.
gun.
I need $14 worth
I got
of
the gun.
gas, thank you.
I got the gun.
Where's gold
Hold on.
jewelry? She's wearing gold.
LP7.
Yeah, she's got gold.
That is true.
Wait,
What
is
do
she the
we-
girl from? Is this low key the girl band from The Boys?
1999 Black SUV.
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
Right? What's that actress's name? I know everyone's gonna know.
I don't forget.
Low key the actress from The Boys, dude. What the fudge?
One signature away from $1 million closing. Won't. Okay.
What? I mean, I kind of wait. Hold on. Test the emoticon.
She's irritated. Oh, look at the white shrew coming in.
She's excited. Okay, you know what? She's
Alright,
living her
sorry.
life. She's chilling.
I was dealing with the guy outside. Is she cool?
Yeah, she's cool.
Wait, is it just
I'll
me or
bag
does
her
this look like the
stuff.
chick from The Boys?
Yeah. So funny. All right, wait, let me do... Wait,
Oh, the
Rat!
phone's ringing.
Yeah,
Rat,
Aaron.
dude.
Aaron Morality.
Hello? Wake
Aaron,
up, dimwit,
that's
it's
her
the man
name?
above.
That's a sick name.
Customers have been complaining about some stink coming from behind the woods in the store.
I'll go look.
I figured it was
I
a
figured
dead
it was a-
raccoon, but nope, limbs. A shit ton of limbs scattered throughout the forest. So you're going out there, grab the limbs, toss them, burn them, whatever, just make the smell stop.
Oh, so we
Oh,
gotta get the, I see
no.
the limbs. Oh
One more thing, I
God.
think I saw
Okay,
something roaming around the forest that looked like it didn't want me to see it. It's probably nothing.
bro. Bam acting like he cares with the oh no, and he's just gambling. Gambling is a tits up. What are we gonna do? Yeah, let me drop this. I'll go. I'll pick up the
$10.
limbs. I'll take one for the 10. I'll take one for the 10.
Wait, where are the limbs at? I don't even see them.
They're all back here out the fence. I have to get 15.
Wait, we're-
Yeah, I need you to.
How'd you even get out there? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think they opened up the fence for this. Sick.
Oh.
Oh, bro, they really got me out here, dude.
Everything okay? Guys, holy shit. Mother. Who's in here? Wait, how did they get over there? Oh no.
I
Do
know
you
you
hear
heard that.
That had to be him, right? I'm shocked. Oh.
All right.
What was that? There's a limb right here. Limb right here. Do we need? I need a bag. What the? Whiskey, whiskey, go, whiskey, go, whiskey, whiskey, go. Pick up the limb.
Did you hear something? I don't have the trash, bro. I don't have the trash.
Oh, we're screwed.
Lopes, come in.
Oh my God, you guys scared the fuck.
Bro, I haven't heard you for 10 minutes.
I haven't heard you even 10 minutes. We thought you died. Guys, the music. Why is there music? Something's wrong in here. We need to restock.
We gotta go, please. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Did he just? He just stole.
Did you make that noise?
We gotta go.
He just stole.
Wait, why are you British now?
Me?
Or Australian? No, I gotta get all these limbs.
We don't have any customers?
We did. They just stole half our shit. I've already watched it happen. Dude, I can make a career out of this. Well, yeah, wait, is there a different sound when they do steal something? I feel like people are stealing stuff. Oh, wait, okay, so it's a full alarm. So maybe they're just browsing and not getting anything. Do people still do that? Limbs can be destroyed with melee weapons. What is going on out there? We need more money.
Bro, I didn't even know whiskey can make sounds like that.
Bro, what is that
Do
him?
not go back there, bro. Dude, bro,
Bro,
he's
it's
tweaking.
100% you. You sound
He's
like a
tweaking.
fucking
He's
hamster
tweaking.
gargling fucking mouthwash.
That's him.
I think he's tweaking. No, Lopes is.
That's
I think the
100%
entity has compromised them.
Bro,
Oh, we have a customer. We have a customer. Everyone, sit up straight. We have a customer. But this is look at our messy ass store. This is not good.
I gave us an extra inventory slot for us. We have 3 now.
That's actually really useful. That guy just stole.
And we can have 2 guns. So there's 1 here.
This isn't you, bro. This isn't you. This isn't you, bro.
You look like Matt Pat.
This isn't you.
You look like Matt
You look
Pat.
like Matt Pat. You look like Matt Pat.
Only one of us could be Matt Pat. Where'd Lopes go?
I think the entity got him, bro.
No.
Is that who I think it is? Babe,
What?
look at this guy. Is that who I think it is? Please look at his face. Is that who I think it is?
I need him to slow down.
Is that,
He
who
won't.
I think it is?
I don't know.
Chat, are you seeing this?
He won't stop moving. That's not Charlie, bro. Stop.
What do you mean, Charlie Brown? Oh, I thought you killed him for a second.
No, not yet.
Lopes hasn't come back. Lopes hasn't come back from outside. It's actually scaring me.
Let's go find him. Lopes!
Is he dead? Lopes.
Yeah, have you guys ever seen that little girl that farts and she's like, wait, what was that? Did you guys hear that? I'm
We
scared.
were worried about you.
Wait, what was that?
What was that?
Wait, did you actually hear that just now?
There's one more flesh out here, apparently.
Yeah, it was like a little ball.
What was that? I'm scared.
We're walking around here with our asses up our heads. We need a flashlight. Oh, nice. I know, I need to bring a... Uh-oh.
I think he just slimed out a customer for no reason.
Yo, chill, man, chill. Man,
You ever
look,
stop and think, what if they're just trying to survive same as us?
Is that Walking Dead?
No, this guy just said that.
Wait, oh, he just said, oh, I thought you were quoting Walking Dead. Also, wait, why is he wearing that same headband that Soldier Boy?
Wait, his feeling is yearning. He's yearning.
Oh, wait, hold on, let me see if the urine is real. I want to. Oh, I had 3 slots for items.
Yeah, I give you an extra slot.
Wait, is this guy legit?
Yeah, it says wait, he could be yearning for anything though, like a hug.
Does he have a bullet scar?
He does. Yeah, he got.
I mean, it's wrapped. I can't tell.
On the left ear.
Wait, left ear. I can't tell. It's being. Take your bandage off, brother.
That's his right ear.
Head.
No, it's his left.
Hair's been
Who's
cut
this guy?
the same since 1943.
Yeah,
never saw a reason to change.
No, I think he's legit. What's his
Does he love MASH?
I don't know. Bro, looks like he suffered a bit in life.
He's yearning.
He has a muscular build.
Is this Tom Brady? I'm kidding. Just kidding.
I think this guy's legit.
Oh my God, Ben, watch out.
Wait, is this girl again?
Badass B coming through? Badass Ginge?
No, she's being strange.
Yeah, she's being very like.
Wow, that was okay. No.
Oh God, I killed a rat.
Wait, can someone restock the shelves?
Yes, I got you.
Wait, she's asking about her sister again.
Where are the boxes?
Why?
Oh, I'm restocking.
Does she have a blue necklace?
She's anxious.
emotions?
She's anxious.
Why is she anxious?
She's anxious.
Ask her why she's anxious.
I asked about her unemployment, and she says she's trying.
Ask her why she's anxious.
Can I actually ask her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I think you can.
Anxious? I suppose I'm genuinely anxious about the future. Bro, your guys' tongues there is just crazy.
I mean, that's kind of.
I think
that's
she's
kind of like
legit.
legit. The future's kind of scary right now. Also, this guy's only wearing briefs, guys.
He's gonna go take a Duke, I think.
Let me talk. Oh, he's gonna take a huge dude. Yeah. I'm watching him. Don't duke hard, brother. Don't duke too hard. Don't duke super hard.
Oh, God.
She duked and ran. He duked and ran. Oh, was that guy? Wait. Oh. Oh God, here we go. All right, 60 seconds. I'm cleaning up the duke. All right. All right, we need boards. Oh, I have a bad.
Boards are in the back. Boards are in the back. Boards are in the back.
Okay. I'm doing the board for the main door. I'm fucking
Okay,
scared.
I'm gonna do
yeah.
board for outside the bathroom.
I'm fucking terrified right now. All right, more boards. Oh, I'm taking that flamethrower.
Isn't
Hell
this
yeah,
the
dude.
special entity though? The one that we have to look at it. We have to lay traps. Remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
traps? Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna put
It's
one.
not a
on
trap.
Iron.
It's a face-off.
I have to go outside. I have to dump the trash. Hold on. Fuck. I'm locked in.
Don't worry about the trash. Bro.
Okay. Wait, I'm doing a stun mine. Wait, can we put the stun mine? That's a stun mine, by the way.
Yeah, let's put it in. I'm put it in.
Wait, try to get the emotions of the enemy.
Wait, really?
Bro, fuck the emotions of the enemy. Why does it sound like someone's clapping cheeks vigorously?
It does. It actually sounds like a huge clap. All right, flamethrower. Let's go.
Hide.
Oh my God, I'm down, boy. Oh.
Oops, are you okay?
I'm coming to you, though. I'm coming to you, though. Don't worry.
They're emotionless. Oh. Oh.
Banth, What the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's looking right at me. I can't move. Guys, no. There's no shot. There's no shot.
Okay. I got this one.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down in aisle 3. Thank you.
Bam, don't take your eye off that one. Don't take your eye off that one. Okay, we have to get it. We have to get it down aisle 2.
How?
Anthony, I need you to look away from it. Look away from it, and then it'll come to me.
Yeah, it'll follow you. It's like you turn away from it, it follows you. So just keep looking at it, get to the door, and then when you get to the door, turn around. You got this.
It's what?
Wait, Ben, turn around.
Oh!
Oh, it's her wrist. It's her wrist.
What the fuck?
Fuck! Ow!
I'm picking up the trap.
Fuck's going in the store? All right, I alerted it, which means it's gonna come for me. Watch this.
No, get it towards me.
So, we have to bring it down aisle 2.
No, I got the trap right here.
Where?
Wait, bam, turn around. Everyone turn around.
Oh!
Wait.
Very good.
Oh, wait.
Very good.
Yeah!
Sick.
Nice.
Fuck yes. Wait, I don't get it though. Like, who was it focused on? Like, whoever's
I
closest?
don't know.
I guess. Bro, how did we survive that? What the hell? We're gods. I guess we're just gods. I guess we're just legends. All right, let's clean up before our fucking boss is a little asshole about stuff.
Yep.
I was holding on to this trash bag for like 9 days. We're going, we're partying.
There's still Duke in the
Limbs can be destroyed with melee weapons. Oh! So you can just destroy the limbs with melee
I know there's garbage everywhere. I didn't know we could pick up garbage. I thought it was just limbs.
Yeah, it is a heap fuck right now. Bad. But we're good. We made good. I think we made good.
I can't
money,
believe
too.
we let 2 doppelgangers go though. I wonder who it was.
Yeah, I wonder who it was too. I guess we'll think. I'm trying to think. Like, poopers don't come in and are doppelgangers, right?
Was it the earrings or the 7 earrings, or was that last round?
No, we killed her. That was this round, but I think. But
Yeah, we
killed
slimed her out. I'm
though.
pretty sure. Limbs can
Also,
be
a
destroyed.
shit,
Oh, so we
a
don't have to
shit ton of
clean
people
it.
came in. Oh yeah, we have to clean that, right?
Okay.
Grab that.
Kobe.
I think we're good.
All right. Is that the revolver? That shit is so loud. Oh my god, get the flame. Get it ready, Ben, because you don't know. We might actually get fucked with again. Let's see. We ain't ready.
Hold on. Make this place real nice for everyone.
Oh, is he hitting you? Oh. Just hit
Oh.
that. Bro, actually hit that.
Wait, our ducks are gonna live.
Are they? Oh yeah, where are we at?
Wait, no humans killed is huge.
Wait. Did we?
A bill comes in the mail.
Let's pay it.
Oh, okay.
What happens if you just don't pay it? Game over?
It says you have 3 days to pay it.
I have $67.
Pizarro has the strength to join our next shift. I want to see our results on the doppelgangers.
Oh, here we go.
The driver?
Oh, Lisa.
No.
Lisa.
Wait, bro, that's wild.
If you search her up, Mia is younger. Oh, that's Huh?
Claims to have been present for the
Are
death
you-
of Janet
wait.
Davis, and that she died of a heart attack.
Doppelganger? I don't even remember the
Yes,
driver.
that's my dog.
Yeah, I don't remember the driver.
I did the driver. That's my bad.
Lisa Cannon?
Refers
Doppelganger
to me as her
refers to Mia
twin.
Cannon. Wait, we let her bounce? I thought. Did we even?
Yeah, we
get a
let her
chance to-
bounce. But, bro, that's such like a minute detail, though. You know what
I
mean?
know
If you
that's
search her up. Oh yeah.
Refers
How
to
do you
Mia as
search
her
for the
twin.
sister like personal stuff?
You just type in Mia Cannon, and then it'll show you all their info.
yeah.
Oh,
I know the
okay, I'll remember
age.
that, searching the names. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Not terrible though.
No,
Honestly.
No, I was
like
fire.
like the two doppelgangers. Yeah, that sucks. But for all the shit going on, I feel like we could have killed everyone and lost $1 million.
Yeah, considering that I had a real neighbor doppelganger pull up, I'm still not over it.
Guys, I was talking to my chat and I.
It's a
So
new
Ark is in my chat
day.
and said- So Ark is in my chat and goes, yeah, to keep it a cock with you.
But I like that.
Beaker.
Can I keep? Can I
Keep it,
Can I
right?
keep it a
keep it a
ball
cock
with
with you? Yeah, to keep it a sack with you.
Yeah,
They're
can I
back.
keep it with you?
Whiskey, it's foul.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real clean.
Van, keep it. Van, keep it clean.
I don't like when you say that. It feels weird when you say it for once.
You're saying it, Whiskey, it makes you think of that Red Hot Chili Pepper songs where, where it's like keep it a click, keep it a click, keep it a click now. What the heck was that?
Maybe that's what they're saying.
Keep it a click, keep it a click, keep it a click now.
I'm gonna read the notes.
Don't say.
Guys, the calendar
Thank
killer
you.
to strike tomorrow. Warning: residents urged to stay indoors as the 8th approaches. With the calendar killer known to
Oh,
target 8
great.
victims on the 8th of each month.
Yeah, to keep it a clip with you.
Van, read the damn poster and stop gambling.
I already got his. I'm getting his money.
What? No, but you're crushing it. You just made us 10 tokens. I almost said dollars. Oh, almost.
Duck on head.
Duck on head. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. For
Yes!
The Affleck and the Beaker Parker, dude. Wait, let me see it real quick.
Sorry, what do I got to read?
The board in the back.
Oh, I thought I
Wait,
did.
how does it look? Bam, does it look good?
It looks great. Yeah, no, I read it. I read it.
Whiskey the tongue. Dude, the duck is awesome. What the heck?
Someone didn't read it. It still says 2.
Bro, that sound was the sound of hard ass failure just now. By the way.
wait, Lopes, read the
Fart.
thing here.
Calendar. Oh yeah, yeah.
There we
Dude, I
go.
read it with you guys, and I just figured that it meant we're chill.
Phone's ringing.
Okay. Already an objective. All right, I'll keep my eye on the customers. Fuck that guy. Affleck's walking
There's
around.
been a rise in thieving activity in the area. Some customers might walk and take items and attempt to leave. Please catch them before they escape. You will be
Yo,
rewarded.
get the fuck over here, you fucking
Catch him,
bare
catch him,
bone
catch him,
jacket
catch him, catch
bitch.
him.
Get back the items right now, or I'll fuck your fucking face. Respectfully. Wait.
do that? Are we
Wait, I don't think we're supposed to kill them.
Oh, well, he's a thief.
Yeah, but you
You're
don't
supposed to
kill
just-
them. This isn't fucking Russia. No offense.
He has the due process and everything. He has a right to trial
Yeah,
and
you
everything.
gotta like talk to him, and then we let him go.
Who is this person? Did you
Wait,
hear
was
about
that
the guy?
wait, no.
they
Honestly,
found
that
by
might be the first human that we killed, though.
No.
Go back inside. Yeah,
Wait,
get inside. I'll
Vance,
talk to
what,
the car.
what did the boss say on the phone? What did the guy say on the phone?
Man, get
I don't
off
know what he
dude. You're
said.
on paid leave.
Oh no,
You don't know what he
yeah.
said on the phone?
I'll check it. Enter car's license plate. Hold on, I'm gonna do it right now. 294Y.
There's a body in the trunk.
Okay, hold on though. He might be chill. Registration expiry 1994. 1982 red station wagon, extremely rusty and dirty at exterior. Details updated weekly. Like he might be a murdering bitch, but he might be chill. Beth, are you giving him a lap dance? Wait, hold on. Wait, he did. Wait, where's the body at? Wait,
Oh,
where's
it's
the
gone.
body?
The body's okay. The body's okay.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, let me keep it a dong with you real quick. I don't know if we should kill that guy. Wait,
think she's
but
real.
maybe. Oh fuck! I have to check the mail. Why do we all have to do it? It's kind of annoying. Wait.
Is the driver legit or no?
I think he might be. Let me see.
That's a good play. That's a good play.
Did you check with the flashlight? He has a dog bed.
No, I didn't.
And junk food.
What?
I'm gonna ask
Yeah, they can, but it's like, you know, that's just the laws of the nature, you know?
It's been a little rough. No paychecks. I gotta sleep in the car. Oh, he sleeps in the car?
Yeah, I think he's legit.
Okay, all right. We need to restock the shelves, don't we?
Yeah. Also, people might be legit. Oh no. These will go off. Okay. All right.
Wait, what
should I
did we
just get
buy?
the gas? Dog bed. Time's been a little rough. No paychecks coming in, so I gotta sleep in the car. You sleep in that bed? Wait, what is that, man?
It cleans up messes.
What?
Bro, you're getting the groceries wet. I think all the shelves are good.
Wait, Whiskey, have you seen it?
Seen what?
Wait, no, we have enough.
It's kind of a peaceful day today. This guy legit? What's up?
Yeah, I think he's legit, but what does he want? How much gas is he on? It doesn't say.
He wants $8, I think.
Okay. All right, yeah, you can give him the 8. I'll shut his doors for him.
Do not go to the
Driver checks out,
bathroom
I
area.
assume he's on the lead.
What's wrong with the bathroom?
Big Dukes?
No.
Bye. The guy dresses like he's from Vermont.
No.
Wait,
Bro, this is
dude, there's a girl
is
coming in with a
ridiculous.
fucking 90-degree leg angle.
Whoa.
No.
Bro.
I have it on good authority. No, I have it on good authority that this is the customer that we heard about on the phone.
Wait, no, to keep it a dong with you, did she actually call though?
According to someone in chat, Banthony hung up on the boss before they gave us the
Wait,
info.
I
but
want to
this
be
is the right person.
totally like respectful, but also like, why wear a heel if your leg is like that? You know what? To match.
Banth, can you confirm that the boss said not to worry about this person?
Well, there was an email and the phone call at the same time. It was like overlapping
Yo,
dialogue.
low key Jessica Biel. You boys want to confirm?
I don't know what the phone call
March 12th.
said.
Wait, actually, yeah, wait, kind
A
of.
little bit, right? A little bit of Biel, dude.
She's a community college student, and her right leg is shorter than the left. Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
one's
or
definitely
is the left
longer.
one longer than, or is one longer than the right?
Oh my god!
What happened? Wait, was he drinking gasoline? What happened?
Okay.
Wait, drinking the gas. Why'd you kill her?
She was drinking the gas. Wait,
No, she
you
wasn't.
can't do that and live.
She was thirsty, bro.
Wait, no. Wait,
She
what
was
the fuck's up with this
thirsty.
guy?
Who is that?
Ray Rowland. Kelly Rowland. Oh my god. Sorry, full circle. Night shift warehouse supervisor balding.
He's not balding. He's already bald.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
already
no,
bald.
No, he's bald. He's balding. He's balding.
Yeah, he
He's got
does.
some.
I got the horseshoe.
I'm gonna ask him about his.
Someone said more like Jessica Heel. That's crazy. So
That's
I got to
funny.
that late.
This guy looks
wait.
legit, no?
I'm buying a shotgun. Is it crazy like that? Yeah, I guess he does. Wait, is there any other way that we can? I'm searching his name.
He looks real. And when you scan
He's
his name,
alive.
already shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Alive. Wait.
I think he's real.
All right.
I
Later,
hope
Rick.
I'm not wrong about this.
I hope we're not wrong about this. Wait, Whiskey, do that crazy sound you did earlier.
Which one?
I think you know.
Why did that guy just yell, "What the fuck"?
Wait, he did?
He yelled, "What the fuck"? I turn around. He's a bunch of flesh, and Banthony's wielding a weapon.
Wait, Ben, how many humans did you just fucking kill? Why are you going on a murdering spree right now? Bro just wants to feed Beaker Parker. That's all. What was that?
Wait, when does
Okay,
here? Hold on.
that's Banthony with asthma. by the way.
Evening, been a busy night.
Oh my god, is that the chick from Sex and the City, dude?
She has heterochromia, apparently.
Oh, let me see your eyes.
April
Show me your eyes.
12th. Her birthday's real.
Oh, she does. She does. One's green, one's blue. They kind of
Okay,
look
she has
like
a red
fucking Magic the
eye.
Gathering.
Oh, like Thor.
A red eye tattoo on her left hand. Is that true?
Oh, wait, Thor's got heterochrome? Yeah,
She has a
I'm
red
staying
eye
near the door.
tattoo?
I'm staying near the door.
I think
Yeah,
she's
right,
real.
bitch.
I think she's legit.
Bro, there's a big truck coming in. Oh, he's delivering. Sorry.
I think she's real.
All right. I'll take it. All right, we
Oh,
got
we gotta
another one
restock
coming
the
in.
shelves.
It's Jessica Heels back. Wait. She's doing something stank with her leg. Oh, no, wait, that's normal. Sorry. Wait, yo, one
What's
leg
the
is
host
diff
do?
again, though. Yo, Whiskey. Am I bugging or no? What's up over here?
Wait,
she's
she's
doing
back?
like a pirouette. What's the ballet thing?
Oh!
Get the fuck! Don't kill her, Bam! Get over here. Oh, I thought be mistaken. I didn't take. Give me the items back. Wouldn't it be easier to just let me go? No. My friend here will. Wait. Did I just let her go? Oh no, we got the items.
What?
Bam, don't do it. No, I got the items back. I think.
Oh, okay.
No, bro, the first one
Why
was
are you
fake.
spraying her?
The first one was fake. This is the real one.
Wait, this is the wait. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Ben, wait. Fuck.
Bro, we're
What do you mean?
so
Wait.
cooked.
What do you mean?
Wait. Was her
Right
name
leg
Louisa?
short. Yeah, no, everything's the same except her leg.
Oh, the other one was so that was
Right.
Why did we let her walk free? We didn't.
I don't.
Because
I mean,
I
her
thought
leg was so
it was
fucked, but we
according-
should have killed her.
Well, the phone call said that she walks weird, but it should be okay.
Oh, that's this one. Because she
Apparently,
walks
I
crazy.
don't know.
She's doing like what's that move called in ballet where you go on your toes? She's doing that.
A
So
pirouette.
she's real?
So like, oh, is it?
So we're cooked
Oh,
because
Damn.
Bro, what the
fuck
hell?
is that?
What?
Do an eye for an eye? Bro's just cleaning him.
bro, he's enlightened as fuck right now. Look at him.
Bro is Nirvana-ing it right in front of us. That's crazy. His name is Net.
I'm just
Please
stocking
be
the
with you,
shelves.
friend.
Net Pong Sack.
Okay.
Guys,
Occupation
look at-
monk. Occupation bald. We
Wait,
let go
is
of the
being a
self
monk a
even
job?
in-
Or-
It's like full
I
time.
guess, yeah. We have a
Wait,
simple
oh my god, I
setup
thought
intro.
Banthony was a customer stealing a whole ass box. I was like, yeah.
I think he's legit, right? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, he's fucking levitating, but I mean, I feel like that's kind of just regular, like,
He
monk
just said
activity,
sucker.
right?
He just called us a sucker.
Sucker.
Wait.
Why?
Bam,
Why'd he call
dude.
us a sucker?
Wait. Dude, Matthew Broderick in Inspector Gadget is here. What? Oh, it's a rat.
Bro, Inspector
This guy took
Gadget is
something-
crazy.
That was a pull, right? Okay, this guy's wild.
Ever wonder where
Name Victor
doppelgangers come from?
He doesn't have a
True.
face.
Hale, private investigator. Doesn't
They
mean
grew
that
out of
he shouldn't have
fears.
Information.
Jaws torn clean off.
I don't know about this guy.
I don't like him. He's giving the heebie-jeebies.
Well, he doesn't have a picture. Isn't that weird?
Nothing comes up with his name?
I always evade net when they try to take pictures of me. I don't particularly trust them. You know, I think he's legit.
You guys have the second gun, right? Like, it doesn't go away?
I have the second gun, yeah.
Okay, good. Shoot the guy that's coming in right now.
You have 5 spots.
I feel like Nirvana wouldn't make it on TikTok today.
Dilbert says, listen up. The world will end if we don't sleep together right now. What?
All right.
Banth, you
Yeah,
gotta,
I'll do it.
yeah, you gotta do it.
Am I
Folks,
killing
you
him?
seeing this? The world will end if we don't sleep together. No, hold on. Hey, Banth, is it just me or have you not heard Lopes talk for 25 minutes?
He's been
Wait,
talking.
guys, did you see the signature on his card? It looks like there's a dick on there.
No, there isn't.
Oh yeah.
There is.
That's
an
Gonzo.
actual dick and balls. That's a dick and
dick and balls.
I'm gonna
Wait,
check
so
his-
is he a
it
troll or is he a fucking demon? Also, bro is so glossy, bro.
He did say we have to sleep with him. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, that is weird. But I don't know if that makes him. That might just make him a perv, not a fucking doppelgang. Okay.
He's mad shiny. Look at how shiny he is.
Yeah, why is
I
he
think
so
I think we
glossed
let him
up?
walk.
Is he?
You think so?
I think Banth has to sleep with him.
Banth, you might have to kiss him.
Oh my
Keep it
god, we
down
let
with
him
you.
walk.
Dude, I'm gonna keep it a clip. I think you might have had to see that guy, man. Oh god.
Oh my
Wait,
god,
what are
she
you
got
doing?
out quick.
Get
Why
out.
is she
Ran the fuck
leaving?
out. Yeah, she left immediately.
Three doppelgangers?
That's a new record for us. It's not good. All right. I'm boarded up. Boarded
guys,
up.
I'm hiding the whole round.
Yeah, that's fair. Wait, we have to kill them, don't we? Like, we have to.
Board up.
Oh my god,
Oh,
watch out.
we have more shotgun?
Yeah.
Ooh.
We have
Ow.
Ow.
Sorry.
Dude, the way that we abuse each other is crazy. All right, I got a shotgun.
Where's
I'm
the
setting up a
board? Where's
trap.
the boards?
I put up 2 already.
I boarded up
I'm
the back
going
wall.
to- you know. Okay. Should we stay in the room or be, or move? No, we can't move around. We gotta be. Oh wait,
guys?
the flamethrower.
Guys, please
Yeah?
tell me you see this. Please tell me you see this.
I see that. Oh my God, is that Silver
What the fuck?
Surfer? Should
the
I put?
fuck?
I'm putting it. I'm
Dan,
putting
look
this
at
right
this.
here.
What the f-
Yes, watch
Ah!
out.
Okay.
I'm
That's
laying
your
that in case
chameleon
he's a
looking
bad
at
boy.
us, dude, for real.
I'm laying this down. Bro, might be crazed. Yo, I'm getting the flamethrower, or no, you got it.
No, you got it. I laid a.
Okay.
I have a C4
where's
ready to
the-
detonate. Tell me to detonate.
Oh, do it. Do it. No, don't do it for this. Bro.
Guys,
Why
no.
is bro playing Magic Camille? What the fuck was that?
It ran at me. It ran right at me.
We need traps, guys, we need traps.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll just take the brute force of this. No, you guys stay still.
No, man, I shot.
No, don't worry. I'm on fire.
There's fucking babies everywhere. Okay, whatever you do, don't look away from that guy, okay?
Oh my god, you're the goat.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, now everyone come here, behind me. Come behind me. And then we're all
Coming?
gonna turn around on 3. Banth, come here. All right, now
All
on
right,
3,
on the
we
count of
turn,
3.
turn around. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Oh, it didn't work.
I'll turn around. Affleck, move. All right, ready?
We did it.
Oh, we got it. Sick. Good job, bro.
Why is the lights not on?
Boys. I don't know. There's another baby in there.
Jesus Christ.
Wait,
I think
actually?
the Mecha Chameleon guy's here. Okay.
Oh,
let's go.
yes.
Do you know I shot
Actually,
at the Mecha guy and then he like ran out of the wall and ran at me and killed me.
I really changed my mind right now. The gun actually sounds like the same gunshot from Nas Ether when he battled Jason back in 2000.
Stop.
gotta test this out. Hold on. Dude, me too. Hold on, ready, chat? I gotta do this. I have to test this out.
Are you trying to get confirmation?
Yeah, I want to hear it. It's Ether Nas, and then I'm gonna shoot the gun and then listen to it afterwards.
I'm gonna mop up the blood while you do that.
Bro, they literally took it from the Nas. You guys have to try this, but don't play the whole song. If you type in Nas Ether and let like the first 2 seconds play, it's literally the same gun noise. It's the same. There's no way. That would be so cool if that was like a lore background.
Are you sure?
Yeah, listen to it. If you go to Nas Ether and then play the first 2 seconds, it's like the same exact gunshot noise that they probably just got from like a stock up noise for like 1999.
Oh my God! Wait.
Right? You don't have to play the whole song. Imagine Banthony play the whole song. Ready? I'll do it. I'll do it again.
Wait, it's exactly like the identical.
That's crazy.
Bro, it's got the same tone.
That is crazy.
I was like, wait, why does I was like, dude, you know what kind of old hip hop thud pull that is from the brain to know that?
That's a pretty good pull.
All right, boys, very
On the
good
bus.
job by the way. But I fear that the 3 is us kind of slipping it a little bit.
I want to see where we messed up. I felt pretty confident.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see.
I saw that. I heard that. Dude. Okay, yeah. Who the who?
No humans killed.
Wait, no humans killed is
Mhm.
wild considering Banth slimed out half the customers.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. A news broadcast plays on the TV. The killer, known as the calendar killer, is scheduled to be active tomorrow, following their pattern of killing 8 people on the 7th of every month since July. Stay safe. Stay
try
inside. Stay.
Taylor. Stay inside.
One day remains until Beaker Parker's. Yeah.
Are they charging us more?
Yeah.
I think they are. Okay, let's see.
So the first Louisa.
okay.
Yeah,
yes,
we knew that.
we knew that.
The
What?
second Louisa.
Doppelmonk, dude.
Wait, the monk doesn't
I
make
knew
sense.
it. I knew it because he was
Oh.
levitating. Because it's an abnormality. Like he shouldn't be doing that. Also,
Well,
why
the
does it have
perv
this
was
bug
human,
shot?
by the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
we knew
really?
that.
Yeah. We gotta let him go.
Wait, so
wait,
where?
but wait, so
we
Ban?
don't- I thought we had 3. I thought we had 3 failures, right?
Yeah, we had doppelganger miss. Then we had doppelganger miss, and then maybe it said 3 we let go. Who's the
But
other
there's
one?
only 2.
Louisa.
It's kind of weird. I'm kind of
It's
surprised
weird.
the monk is bad though.
Bro's name is Pongsack. Amia Gutierrez. No, that's a human too. Wait, where's the third one? Wait, why are we getting fucked? It's not cool. I'm loving this game, Ileana. I think this game is fun as shit, actually. I really was not. I didn't know what to expect, but I get why people are kind of. No. I think this game is probably a one and done, to be honest. Unless you like play with a different crowd, I would imagine, or like you want to go for like certain.
There's like an endless
achievements,
mode, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
is there?
really?
That's kind of cool.
Roadwork delays expected. Obituary section. Stacey Kennedy, 24, passed away unexpectedly this week. Remembered for her kindness and bright spirit, she will be deeply missed.
R.I.P. I'm gambling real quick.
Roadwork delays expected.
Dude, 7. What? Banter's crush for the house. What? No way. That's bullshit. Oh, I'm rocking that.
Oh, yes.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, paperback boy. I am a man of constant. Oh, hard hats. What do we look like? Cat callers?
Read the notice in the back.
Oh yes. God, I keep fucking forgetting that we all have to do it.
I don't know why we all have to do that.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like we
I
should
think
just like
because
one
there's
person.
important info.
Yeah, true.
Like tells you who's a dog.
All right, bald sheriff.
Yep, he's dead.
Oh,
I think that's our
wait,
boss.
what is he doing?
Isn't that our boss? Yeah, it's our boss.
Roaches have been spotted crawling out of the vents around the store. Great.
Oh God. Hey, bud, I'm sure you've heard about the calendar killer by now. He's no joke. Stay alert tonight. I'd love to stay and help out, but I'm a useless bitch. But between the two serial killers active, the police force is spread too thin. I've got to stay out there and protect the unarmed. But stay safe tonight, all right? If I come back tomorrow and you're dead, I'll kill you. Okay. Is he
That's kind of
always just like?
redundant.
Is he always just? Yeah, it was. That was a lot. Is he always like plot chill? Like, I think he's just plot armored. Right?
Ooh, 25. Okay.
I'm gonna keep it clip. I think this game is fun.
Is that Tony Hawk?
It's Tony Stark.
Did you get the roaches in the bathroom or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, there's traps in the bathroom.
Oh my God, Tony! Another no, not Tony.
Did we take the traps
No,
out of the bathroom?
Please, please.
Right
Wait.
here, rat. Straight up
Banth, go
tripping.
long. Banth, go long.
Throw
Yep,
that shit.
got it.
Throw it.
Okay.
Sorry. Wrong sport, by the way.
Dylan Pike. This person's a warehouse
That's a cool
worker.
name, kind of. Bro's a fish. Let me talk to him.
Tell me if he's.
Always
Tell me
wears
he's.
shorts apparently. Is he wearing shorts?
No, he's wearing pants.
He
Oh.
is.
Wait, he turned around when you said that. I think you pissed him off.
He's fake.
Yeah,
He's fake.
He's fake? Man, that's
him
a
up.
sick insta kill, bro. Clean him
Mhm.
up. Bro's a mobster. Alright, I got it. Clean him up, put him in the trash. Check homie right here. Bro, did we do smoothies?
Is that now hiring sign outside still valid? My negligent twin sister could use a job. Are we hiring,
Did you
guys?
say valid? Yeah, we are.
Va- Wait. Does
Yo, someone just took the squirtiest Duke ever.
I heard it?
Oh, woman. That was crazy. I got it.
Extra inventory
who is
slot
this?
required. Yeah, see if he has a
David,
twin
is that now
sister.
hiring?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because he talks about a twin sister.
David Kennedy, David Butters, Stacy Kennedy, deceased.
Is that it? Is that the
Cause of
only other
death,
Kennedy?
Drowning. She was drowning in drip, dude.
Wait, is that the only other Kennedy?
I think so, yeah.
We gotta kill him.
Wait, why though? Because she's
He
dead?
said he said my older twin sister needs a job.
Oh, he's fucking, dude. Slap him up, dude. Trap him and slap him. Bro, you might have figured out like a strat, honestly. Dude was ready to clean. Crazy. I'm working with a bunch of mobsters right now. Yeah, we're crushing this. Just a random clean. Dude, there's tokens everywhere. Are we just missing these? Oh my god, more.
Anida. Good evening. An eventful night.
Anida,
Who are you?
Martinez?
Often has bags under her eyes.
I can't
Hair
tell.
is dark
Yeah,
red.
Yeah, it is. Yep, it's a little dark. The bags are there, I think. I can't really tell, brother.
Guys,
What do
I
you
need
think,
you to
Dan?
check the. Can you
Those are
check the restaurant
bags.
for a
Yeah,
couple
she's
names?
got bags. Yeah, those
Yeah,
are
what's
bags.
up?
I need you to look up the following people, and they need to be children. Okay.
Okay.
Whoops, you got it. You got it.
The first one is Darla.
Okay.
Is Darla
For this
exist?
guy? Okay. It's just Darla?
Yeah. How old is she?
Someone shit again.
My little girl.
Also.
Darla Groves and Darla Thompson. I'll check them both out. Darla Groves is a grown-ass woman, 1969.
Uh-huh.
Ew.
Darla Thompson, 1984.
Yeah, that's she's 12. Okay, now check Douglas. It's D-O-U.
It's 1993. Would she be 9?
Douglas Thompson?
Yeah.
Whoops, when did the kid be 9, not 12?
I don't. Yeah,
As long as they're a
1984,
kid.
and it's 1993. Yeah. Douglas
You found
Thompson
out
is
that's maybe my
1984.
adopted kids.
Hmm.
They're
Yeah.
adopted
Douglas Thompson
kids.
is
Okay, now check
1984, and there's.
Lacey.
Okay, Lacey.
L-A-C-Y.
Oh, we have a C4 if you want to blow someone up.
Whiskey, say it again.
Is this what it feels like? To lose it all? In one fell swoop?
Yo, can you hear me?
Do you realize?
Their eyes have come. Wait, did Wiki get fucked?
Did he explode?
Noah! I think he might have. Noah, what's up, dude? Anybody from Wikis know? The dentist got him. Did his stream die? Oh, that sucks.
Oh man.
Fuck, what night were we on?
Like 7 or 8? Oh, he went. He's hard off on.
Yeah, he got really.
We're
yeah.
probably like halfway, I think.
Does it save? I don't think it does, dude.
I hope it saves.
I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure it does not.
Nah.
That would suck absolute donkey ass. Quick interview question, chat. Name a time in life where you kept it a dong. So stupid. Wait, what do we do, Banth? What's the move? What would you do?
Crash out.
It does save. It saves apparently.
Yeah. Hello?
Oh
It
shit.
wait, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What happened?
Computer fully fucked.
Oh
No.
no, dude. I'm sorry. That sucks, man. That's so
Bros,
annoying.
all screens black.
What? Are you on the phone right now? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I guess I never left the call. I've been in here.
Oh, what? That's crazy. Dude, no, that sucks.
It's not the worst because it helps me troubleshoot, but yeah,
True. Well, apparently the
shit fully
game
froze.
saves. Whiskey.
Yeah,
so-
at least it saves.
it stinks, bro. I'm sorry.
No, no worry. Do you wanna what do you wanna do? What do you think's the move?
I gotta troubleshoot. I'm not gonna go back live. I gotta fix it.
All right, no worries, man.
You're good.